Let's get right to it, dog. You know it's raw. But let me catch you if you showing off. They wanted to get you, I hold it off. Thought he was solid, but told it off. Running the field with the underdogs. Don't want to get involved. I can admit it. I know what it's time. I'm tripping. I got every group. Niggas will fumble a bag. I get to the cash fast. Got a salute. I've been a hustler. Look how I'm coming up. You running your mouth, better run it up. I'm running this shit like a big dog. Living my movie, they pissed off. Pushing the law cause we in charge. They gon' play this in the synagogues. How do I feel? I'm feeling great. Bigger the problem, the bigger the plate. Making my move, that shit gotta wait. Ahead of my time, keep it in line. Put on their face. I just learned to keep it all to myself. Wait, a couple of niggas that hang with me that'll bang for me. If I'm doing bad, never change on me.
We the salt of the earth. We the motherfucking underdogs. We underestimated. You understand what I'm saying?
I got tunnel vision. There's a bunch of ways I'm gonna get it. It's my way or the highway if you ain't fucking with it. Do what I say or go about your fucking business and take this money with you. I ain't dealing with no fucking children if they not my own. Going by myself, I'ma die alone. These bitches catch my wave and more just hopping on. They hear what I make, it starts to turn them on. I think it's sorcery, the way they rob the bone. The black magic stick, they stopping by my home when I'm not even home. I'd rather be alone so I can conquer shit and I can see it wrong. I just keep popping shit cause I won't be here long. I'm hopping on the road and get my diesel blown. She wanna drop it low and get her eagle on. My new bitch bad as fuck, she look like me alone. I came up from the dirt, was born right under y'all. And just like God of wine, said I just want it all. These niggas seasonal, I watch them leave and fall. The last gon' finish first, cause we some underdogs.
They say the first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Nigga, we gon' rule this kingdom, nigga. This one West.
Ride to the sunset, slide to the moonfall. Boss all said ghetto, then I got him, that's my doggy dog. Don't bark, gotta mean bite, we them underdogs. Over off the wire, 5 yards, I'm pressing all of y'all. 9 niggas up like I'm director from a casting call. I don't give a fuck, you want beef, neck to all of y'all. UPK priest, lace up boost, and it's time to ball. The clip name Wendy, all these shells, I'ma let them fall. Niggas think they better than like who they think they better than. One West Soldier, best believe we got that metal in. Last name Cannon, cause I still got them drummers in. Kept us at that trapper, hell yeah, I'ma let them know. Underdog, you niggas tripping, we'll be popping or you sniffing. Real crafty with that smithing, locked in on the mission, rocking all out. Who the type to hop out, you be bitching, cotton, crew time. Now the clock, put your nigga.
Every dog has his day.
Trap exempt.
Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you.
Before I say you. About 5 minutes.
Waiting and to play with. I raised my children up to say the same shit. Dear Lord, I hope you hear my prayers. Because we really, really need you down here. From all the pain that we going through. We know that you're real, so can you fall through? Father, have mercy when we call on you. But I just wanna fall on you. To show the devils you ain't nothing to play with. I raised my children up to say the same shit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Come on, West. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on go, but they don't believe me. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 VG. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, they be churching. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. If he cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with this virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the Ivy. Say all y'all do the street. Jay Ollie through the street. When nigga made the wrong move, he make his ass out the league. He ain't one of us, hit the lead. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my cleats, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an actor, Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we pace. We form up in ranks. We body bad, this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it low to the T. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet. Got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell him get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us, he a breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
I got big ring, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste, we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, delete your ass, lil' fame, I'm on war, not the same, for wrong, these people, I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time, for wrong, pussy ass, purple ass niggas, man, for wrong, get your born ass right. Niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You that scare rag, cow ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, y'all young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. Yeah. All these niggas want down hate, but tell them zip it lip. And you a dumb ass scare rag, boy, little body bitch. Damn. And I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know nigga don't reminisce. I spit flavors on they damn beats, niggas better catch a pitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. But you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with the damn scripture with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true line nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. I got big ring, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play. bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay. You purple, you gay, you leech ass, love fame. I won't walk, not the same. For wrong. I tell you, for wrong. Get your shit together, for wrong. Work. I'ma do this shit till I write, you little body bitch. I'ma judge your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I'm smooth with it, y'all zop, you little body bitch. And I switch nigga on that thought, you little body bitch. And I'ma stay turning like the guys, you little body bitch. And I'm stone cold like a bomb, you little body bitch. And I'm a warrior like that Gabar, you little body bitch. And my aim like that a zop, you little body bitch. Need a princess papa, you little body bitch. Or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch. Yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stoned, work hard, then play. Bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, we leech ass, love fame. Hold on, I say, for wrong. For wrong. Hey,
Big bro. Yeah, this is
One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. One West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. They ain't scaring me. Rip the soul out of Pharisee. Speaking heresy and get you fucked up apparently. It's like they daring me. I said chill, they ain't hearing me. They ain't listening. Every bar nitroglycerin. Hit your heart, bring it back to start, make you live again. Get them dividends or we start getting ignorant. I be on that soldier shit. I told you shit phenomenal. Nobody abdominal. So what you suckers trying to do? Rhyming comical. Guess it's funny until I'm bombing you. Bring apocalypse to them pussy niggas that's popping shit. Team of all-stars. I coach them up like I'm Popovich. Fuck the politics and the lobbyists and apologists. They vagina, so we gon' check them like gynecologists. It's kinda obvious how the situation is ominous. The way I vomit this and regurgitate for the audience. They start applauding this cause the competition is fraudulent. From the era where niggas smoke you up like a parliament. The flow been stupid. Shit has gotten retarded since all the dominance. One West rising to prominent. Cause I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. They want a nigga quiet, mute my maneuvers. But I ride like I got group fines for Uber. Rhymes hard like they've been viewed by Medusa. 9 milli Luger, 17 in the Ruger. Only need a few to sit up in your medulla. Obligata for the regatta, niggas wildin', they win every dollar. They riding by in black Impalas, let the semi holler. A showstopper, been the stopper since the teeny bopper. But now I'm going off Patron, the premium of vodka. I put extensions on the Glock, modify the chopper. The swore heavy, war ready, and that's working mama. No marijuana, say I got the loudest silence on it. When I'm up on it, ain't no rapper do it like I do it. A lot of spitties and writers, but when they eat on, none of them can get to the fire around with me. And I had them niggas feel like a tire, down the D. And I'm still dope as a piper. Every bar burn hard like a spoon with a lighter. Fuel to igniter, I'm winning coming through with the title because UP. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me. I be one West to the death till they bury me. I'm one West till they bury me.
but you a gospelite, bitch. Fuck you talking about? If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. Sharp on shit, I'm bout it. UPK too solid. Fuck nigga don't want war. It ain't enough clips in your army. All the bitches wanna take my piece. All the hoes wanna take my piece. All the nigga wanna take my piece. No, I can't let a dog take it from me. I can't let a dog take it from me. You a hoe study and you dummy. And these bitches really out this bitch walk around like they don't know nothing. And a lame nigga fall for them and get set up for the coins and get gunned down, man down. Should've took the time, get a damn no. But I see the shorter and I show her. She could never get a priest hold. You a dirt ass, rust ass neck bitch with a fake ass jury. In Tennessee while I'm touring. It's a Tennessee, but she luring. And a sucker duck bitch ass boy, fuck nigga over that bitch muggin'. I say, if that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK too solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch. You a lame nigga down to me. Eat candy, but I'm sucker free. You a little nigga, none of me. Base up, boy, I fit a beat. Yeah, AR 223. Draco with a magazine. Yeah, the clip on a limousine. I shoot your ass in the spring. Boy, I bust your ass in the temple. We debating by the temple. Tell the truth, boy, you's a victim. And you squirm off like a lizard. Nigga walk down my road. Why does nigga come down my road? Boy, come down my road. Boy, I charge your ass toll feet. I'm a real
about half hour.
You can't play for keys, nigga.
Wait on,
I stuck his ass like a cat. All weapons, boys full of tech. Ball like a close comeback. Nigga got popped off for a neck. If that nigga won't walk, bitch, we ready. It ain't hard to find us. How can I keep that stick locked, loaded, but he'll fade you line up. Young nigga name is Slayer. What you think, boy? You be done to try. Soft cold shit, we bout it. UPK, you solid. Little bitch think I'm crazy, think I'm playing like bitch, I ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Ain't the one. Warfare every day, so who is you, bitch? I don't need your love. Killers right round the way. What you think? I love this brotherhood, hood. More than you, bitch.
Christ said 7 women gonna be on one nigga in the end time. Nigga, fuck wrong with you, boy. Stressed by that damn hoe ass bitch. Fake ass nigga too. Dumb ass motherfucker. Fuck you.
Check me out, dog. Roll the window up, man. The water. Ain't no better, dog, really. The son of a king. I don't Balenciaga. I might just wear a collar. I might just wear the Pradas. But I'm thinking long term, so I might say the dollars. We ain't no better. I'm just being honest. I should've went to college, but I was thinking violence. It's one West world. We the fucking livest. Break it down, we break ground. We don't break no damn promise. Let's get active, dog. Don't tell me how you feel about it. These cats saying too much. They ain't learn enough. You maxed out the first quarter. I'm still warming up. These niggas tossing up a brick. They can't score with us. Who gon' come against us? On the Lord with us. The niggas riding for you. Hope they ride till they crash. Put my name in your mouth. I put my belt to your ass. I ain't running no race. I just hope that I last. All them niggas you look up to, I consider them trash. Only time you seen a leader was in Wayne hand. Niggas will dap you, then pop you with the same hand. I'm a main player. I stick to the game plan. They don't really fuck with you. That's your main man. We them niggas came through and made your city hot. Yep, said he in the field, but he really not. I ain't casting no stone, I just let him rock. And that's the kind of story they gon' read about. But if it's war, it ain't no tapping out. Rip still heat, spit like a dragon mouth. Check me out, dog. I wonder what, man. The water.
Outstanding. You ready to rock, Akim? Clap it up. Clap it up.
Yahweh Bashem
Yahushai Brakathum. Yahweh El Numbre de Yahushai Te Bendiga. Please be seated. Siéntate. Gracias. Gracias, carnales. Sacerdotes y oficiales. Let's get it on, Akim. You ready to rock?
Count on Khan, sir.
Headquarters, who do we have in here tonight?
We got Trinidad in the building.
Oh, Trinidad, the bad man. Give Trinidad a hand. I see you, Warriors.
We got Milwaukee in the house.
Milwaukee. All right, Warrior. Get it on, Milwaukee.
We got Florida with us tonight.
All right, Florida. Good to see you, Warriors, man.
We got Toronto in the building.
Toronto, way up north. I see you, Ak. Good to see you, Warriors. Go ahead.
Dallas joining us tonight.
Dallas. Give Dallas a hand. I see you, Akim. Well done. All right, Akim. We're ready to begin this class. Listen, we're going to go into Donald Trump tonight. Donald Trump, once again, is the stupidest, the dumbest white man that ever existed, which makes him the absolute perfect president for America. That's why he won. Donald Trump today blamed the plane crash today on black people and Hispanics. What? They asked him, he said it must have had something to do with DEI. They said, do you know that? He said, no, but probably was. I said, Lord have mercy, that's a dumb white man. I see why you voted for him. I see, because he best represents the kind of idiots that are the voting class in America. I'm going to explain to you tonight. I'm going to tell you about a better government, better rulers, more capable rulers, rulers who are competent and not just hateful. Everyone understands, right? We'll get into it tonight. Before that, I'll absolutely answer any questions that you might have. Un momento por los anuncios. Nosotros somos la Escuela Israelita de Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Comenzamos en 1 Oeste Calle 125, Harlem, Nueva York, desde 1969, debajo del mando General Yahana. All right, let's begin, Akim. Throughout.
Count out of one count. We have some questions in the comments already. A brother asked, Shalom Alawap, can I get a general full breakdown of Leviticus 25 and verses 1 through 6?
Absolutely, Warrior. Absolutely. Let's get it on.
Quickly. Reading from the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 1. The Lord spake unto Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when you come.
I'm sorry, Warrior, I can't hear you well.
Is it on?
I think it's done.
God, verse 2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3.
Keep going.
6 years shalt thou sow thy field,
mm-hmm.
and 6 years thou shalt prune the vineyard,
mm-hmm.
and gather in the fruit thereof.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land.
Let me just try to explain. The Most High God, very similar to how on the 7th day of the week, the Most High gives us a day of rest for us to be able to not work to not do any service to anyone else besides ourselves so that we can have a break. Well, every 7th year, the Most High breaks the land. The land is able to get a break every 7 years. Every 7 years, imagine an agricultural system where everyone is planting and growing as much as they want on their land. But in the 7th year, that land that you've grown things on for those 6 years, you give that land a break. So on the 7th year, you plow another field and you work that field or that land for 7 years, and you give that plot a break. So the land is able to rest. And in doing so, this ensured more healthy and more abundant crops because the land was able to gain back its resources and the nutrients in the soil so that it could continue to produce at a high level. So the same way the Most High rested us once a week, the Most High rests the land from farming once every 7 years. All right. Anything else?
Khan out of Khan. Still on verse 4. A Sabbath for the Lord. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. Verse 5. That which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest, thou shalt not reap.
So you're not going to pick anything from the land. You're not going to plant anything in the land. You're going to leave this land alone for 1 year. Continue.
Khan out of Khan. Neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land.
That's what I just broke down for you, all right? Go ahead.
Khan out of Khan. Verse 6. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee and for thy servant.
When it says the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, the word meat is Old English for good, meaning this is going to be good for you that the land rests for 1 year. This is going to help you. I just explained why earlier, all right? Go ahead.
Khan out of Khan. And for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourneth with thee.
See, for my white friends out there watching, you could learn a lot from how the Israelites conduct themselves in agriculture, in business, and in friendship. The Israelites, our culture is to be kind to everything that serves us, even the land. To be kind. Kindness. That's the problem with our oppressor, Rock. He has a great ability to be cruel and a great ability to kill and take life, but he has absolutely no ability to be kind. He has no ability to build a family. He has no ability to have friends. He can't see the purpose in being kind to the land. This is good for you. This is good for the land. It's good for your servants. It's good for the people that work for you. It's good for everyone that they get a break. It's good for society. Now, meanwhile, what do you live in? You live in a society where an oppressor is over you that believes you're lazy if you don't want to go into work every single day, no matter what. If you ask to work from home, he thinks you're lazy. If you ask for more money, he thinks you're lazy. If you ask for time off to take care of your children, he thinks that you're not productive. You see, he doesn't understand that this is good. This is good for everybody, which is why he's a terrible governor, a terrible ruler of this planet. And the Most High God is going to have new rulers very soon. Very soon. Anything else?
Khan out of Khan. Verse 7.
That was it. That was the end of that section.
Is that it?
Khan, sir. Next question. A brother had a question. Shalom, Lord in Christ, Alawat, priest and officer Sabiyah from Syracuse, New York.
Hey, shalom, warrior.
Salaki, if I may, sir, can I get a breakdown on Lamentation 3, verse 27 through 30, Baba Kashaf?
No problem.
Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth.
So also, headquarters, I shall hold Psalms 109 and 6 for me, all right? All right, go ahead, read it again.
Khan. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 27. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth.
Keep going.
Khan, verse 28. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence, because he hath borne it upon him.
Keep going.
Khan, verse 29. He putteth his mouth in the dust. If so, be there may be hope.
I'll explain this precept. This is the kind of precept that is a perfect Hebrew Academy precept. This is the Bible telling you how to build character in a young man. How to build character. When it says bear the yoke, it's comparing the young man to a farming animal, to an ox. So a yoke is that big wooden thing that an ox would carry around in an old school farm. An ox would carry it around, and it would be this big wooden thing would be tied to a plow. And it's very heavy, and the ox has to carry it because the plow is very heavy, and an ox is the only thing that has enough strength to pull this plow. Well, it's good for a young man to carry the yoke when he's young. What does it mean to carry the yoke? It's a metaphor for working hard, for being able to work hard, to put your nose in the dirt and go. That's a good thing when you're young. When you have your physical strength, it builds character in a man. That's why we put you brothers through Hebrew Academy under commanding General Yohana's orders, to make a young man learn the ethic to work hard. You see, Donald Trump never learned that ethic. He's been served his entire life, just like that old zombie son he has. Donald Trump has a zombie son that goes everywhere with him like a goddamn walking ghost. And that boy has never worked hard, just like his father has never worked hard. So what does it do? When you become an old man, you never honor a work ethic. You never understand it because you've never had to do it yourself. Well, in the Bible, our young men are trained to learn how to work hard when they're young. It's good for you. It's good. That's what Hebrew Academy is about. Read it from the top.
Khan. It is good for a man that he bear the yoke in his youth. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence.
He does what?
He sitteth alone and keepeth silence.
Let me tell you what work. If you have a work ethic and you develop a work ethic when you are young, or in your case, brothers, when you're young in the truth, you know what you're able to do? You're able to sit alone and shut your goddamn mouth. To shut up. You can't do that. You know why? Because your whole life is having fun, right? That's your entire life. You can't sit home alone. You've got to go out. You've got to chase tail. You've got to get drunk. You've got to find the party, the excitement, because you're a baby boy. You're just a little baby boy. And so you can't just sit alone in the quiet. You can't do that because a child has a habit of needing to be social and do social things. And before you know it, you're a grown man and all you can do is get drunk all day, party all night, and you can accomplish nothing at all in life because no one taught you to carry the plow when you were young. But if you did, if you learned how to work hard, if you learned how to work hard in the truth when you're a trooper, when you're an officer of 50, then you wouldn't need fame and glory and attention. You wouldn't be such a desperate attention whore, which is what you become because you never learned to put your head down and work. You never learned it. So what do you become? You become like a lot of brothers do in these fake Israelite groups. You become an attention whore. You just need to get attention constantly. You need constant praise. You need everybody to clap and everybody to love you so goddamn much, because if not, your soul would be empty because you never learned a work ethic. Read that last part again.
Khan. He sitteth alone and keepeth silence.
Keep going.
Khan. Because he hath borne it upon him.
Because he bore it upon him, because he carried this burden. He did it when he was young. So now, as he's a man, he doesn't need attention. That's why you have to make constant videos that express yourself. You always have to express your stupid thoughts. Everything in your brain you think is important and is going to benefit the world. For them to know your opinion on everything and all things. You become an opinionated idiot who just needs social activity, attention constantly, because you didn't carry a burden. You didn't put it up on your shoulders, man, and carry it. Because if you did, you would learn to shut your stupid mouth. You would learn to stop talking. You would learn that would be a miracle, wouldn't it? It would be a miracle if you could shut your stupid mouth. Continue.
Khan, verse 29. He putteth his mouth in the dust.
What does he do?
So,
Read that again.
He putteth his mouth in the dust.
Oh, this is a properly raised young brother. Properly raised. He put his mouth in the dust. It's comparing you to that ox. It puts his mouth in that dust, brother, and just churns his legs. He just works. That's it. He just picks up his feet, picks up one hoof after the other, and works. He puts his mouth in the dirt, in the dust. Go ahead.
Khan. If so, be there may be hope.
If so, then there might be some hope. This world might become a better place if we can raise better young men up. That's what Commanding General Yohana was ordained to come and do, to go find a way to build better men. That's why we're here. We're here to build better men. And it isn't done through magic or slapping on the forehead or dipping you in a dirty pool of water. But to build better men, you have to raise them with better ethics. You have to raise them with better customs. You have to be better fathers to them. You have to be better examples to them. And you have to teach them how to work. I pray you understand. All right, I believe that's that. Anything else?
There's one more verse, sir. Verse 30.
Mm-hmm.
Khan. He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him.
What is it? Read that again.
He giveth his cheek to him that smiteth him.
Now you know where Jesus Christ got this from in the New Testament. This is where it comes from. A young brother who carries a burden, he carries it. He picks it up, he works hard, he plows forward. He'll know how to be quiet and sit alone to himself without that driving him crazy and him needing to run out with some gang or some church choir or some purple group of homos to be able to find friendship, to be able to find, what's the word I can't stand? I hate to even say it because it's filthy in my mouth. Fellowship. You ever heard that word, Ishar?
Yes, sir.
Ugh. What do? I fellowship here. Oh, you need a lot of fellowship, don't you? I'm sure you do. Without fellowship, what would you do? Kill yourself? Because you don't have fellowship. I just want some fellowship. You should have learned how to carry a burden while you were a young brother. You should have learned to do it. You wouldn't be a fellowship whore if you were able to carry a burden, if you were taught to carry a burden. Well, if we can do this, there's hope. There's hope for the future, brother. There's hope. And you know what else a brother does who learns this? He giveth the cheek to someone that hits him. You know what that means? Who wants to give me the answer? This is something that young brothers have to learn. You have to learn. You know this. You talk about this all day. Who knows? Every brother, my Shamar knows. Every brother in prison knows this. You know what it's hard? Know it's hard to do when you're young? It's hard not to overreact when someone offends you. It's hard to turn the other cheek. It's hard to do that when you're young. When you're young and you've never been ordered to carry a heavy burden, to do something you didn't want to do, that was terrible for you to even try to do, but you did it. Well, then you'll learn, give him a hand, young man, Davon, you'll learn to walk away. That is something that is extremely difficult for young brothers to do. You can't do it. You can't do it. Brothers try to do it. Look at the white man, little white boys in high school. They try to walk away. Before you know it, they come back to the school, kill everybody in the school. Shoot everybody in the school. Why? Because someone offended them. Someone bullied them. Someone did something to them. And they cannot take it. Well, if you've learned to carry a heavy burden, you will have the ability to control your anger when offended. There's a way to handle it. There's a way to keep your respect, your self-respect. There's a way to keep your honor, and there's a way not to allow an enemy to play you out of your future simply because you got angry. And there are so many people that are in jail right now or in the grave that were just played out of their future because of a temporary anger. Something that, when you're a child, you can't control. But men are supposed to be able to control that. That's what Christ was trying to teach us when he said, turn the other cheek. In the Black and Hispanic community, our anger is so hot towards one another, and we can't pause. We can't think. We can't stop and measure our response. We can't decide what response is an overreaction and what response is the proper measure for what has been done to us. We don't know. All we know is that we're little baby boys who are really, really mad, really, really angry, and we just act on it. And now our life is gone. Well, if you teach a young man well, if you teach him to carry a burden up, if you teach him to be able to be alone, then he doesn't need a choir, a gang, a crew. He'll carry his burden. He'll learn to do it. He doesn't need to run around and constantly be in some bar or constantly be out chasing tail or be on DJ Academics hit lists. We're going into that story tonight. This is the perfect precept for that DJ Academic story, to see what's out there for young men who cannot control themselves, who need attention. Do you need DJ Academics attention? He'll offer you some. Are you an attention whore? Are you a man that just needs to be friends with your video game buddies, with people on the internet? Or you need a fellowship out there? Because DJ Academics, he wants to fellowship with you. He's there. He's open for fellowship nights. He is. Or you can learn to be a man from Commanding General Yohana. You can be like us. You can be like us, and we are able to control ourselves. I pray you understand. Oro por tu entendimiento. Anything else?
There's the last part of that, sir. Yeah. He is filled full with reproach.
He is what?
He is filled full with reproach.
He is filled full with reproach. Meaning what? People hate him. They hate him. They can't stand him. They hate him. Why? Because he controls himself. Because he carries a burden. Because he makes sinners feel guilty. The Bible says that righteousness is as wickedness to a sinner. Jesus Christ said that marvel not that men should hate you, for it is me that they have hated first. This is a prophecy for Jesus Christ, which is why it said he will turn the other cheek, because Jesus Christ came to us to raise us right, to teach us how to be men, to teach us how to have honor and self-dignity, to teach us how to be manly in the most righteous way possible. And he is filled full of reproach. And they hated him for it, and they hate us for it. Everybody understands. All right, anything else?
Sir.
Próximo.
Brother in chat asks, Shalom, Lord in Christ, Alawab, Salaki, sir. Will you explain the differences between laws, statutes, and commandments, Baba Shah?
No problem, Mark. Laws, statutes, and commandments. A law, right, is the written letter of what you read. That's a law. A law would include the punishment. So the law against homosexuality in the Bible says that their blood shall be upon them, meaning the law says that a homosexual has to be put to death. That's in the Bible, okay? A statute, right, is something that a ruler writes down, the person that's in charge writes down, and that thing could change. It's possible that the ruler could change it. It's a statute. It's something that he wrote down that he wants you to do. That thing has the possibility of changing by definition, a statute, right? But the ruler, the person in charge, has decided that he wants all of us to do this. It could be temporary, which is why it would change. Meaning he could say, I want you from, like when Esther wanted all of us to fast, and then her cousin, I believe, what was his name? Barak? Esther's cousin? You know, the Benjamite brother. He told everyone, listen, we're going to take a fast for 3 days. That would be like a statute. It would be something that this man in charge has decided we're going to do for 3 days. It's a statute, all right? A commandment is the things that came from God that validated Moses's authority to write statutes and to write laws. So the commandments, meaning the 10 commandments, the ones that have biblical authority, the ones that have God's authority, that proves that a man has the right to write statutes and to write laws. So the commandments come from God to a man. That man gets those commandments. The people say, listen, God gave this man commandments. This man has authority with God. Then the man gives you laws, rules, and punishments. Then the man decides, I want you to do this for a certain amount of time. I want you to do this if you live in this city. He decides certain things based on the authority that he receives from the commandments. That's the difference between laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. The commandments don't have the punishment attached like the laws do. The commandments are simply things that you have to do. Like you're not going to steal, you're not going to murder, you're not going to covet. That's a commandment. Then Moses says, if you do covet, this is going to happen to you. If you do steal, you're going to give it back 7 times. That's a law. That's the law about stealing. And then the statute, Moses could say, well, this brother that stole, he's going to pay for it like this. This sister that stole, she's going to pay for it like that. That could change person to person based on the decision of the ruler. That's the difference between laws, statutes, and commandments. Next.
Kind of quick shout out to a couple new zones joining us. Chicago's here with us.
Give Chi-Town a hand. I see you, Chi-Town. See you out.
ISUPK Mexico is with us.
ISUPK México, Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh Shai te bendiga.
Yahweh en el nombre de Yahweh Shai lo bendiga, mi general.
Sí, gracias. All right, let's get it on.
Windsor in the house.
Say again?
ISUPK Windsor.
ISUPK Windsor, Canada in the house, way up north. Give him a hand. I see you, Windsor. Good to see you out. If any of you Akim in the other zones, other camps, just please, if you have a question, don't hesitate to raise your hand and ask, all right? I'm ready to rock headquarters.
On that note, sir, Trinidad has a question.
Go ahead, Trinidad. Trinidad, I can't hear you. Trinidad. Still can't hear you, Trinidad. I see you, Miss Stevenson.
So I guess they hear me now?
I hear you now, Trinidad. I'm listening, brother. What can I do for you?
So I guess I have a question on Genesis chapter 7, verse 2.
All right.
What I want to find out, right? When the verse say that the animals go in pairs 7 by 7, male and female, right?
Right.
And then the unclean male and female by 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to find out like the swine, right? You see like how the swine, or if that would be two male swine and two female swine, and like the goat is a clean animal. I want to know if that would be like 7 goats, 7 male goats, and 7 female goats.
Absolutely. Oh, you mean if there's 7 and 7, meaning by 7s? No. Okay. Just so for those brothers and sisters that might not know, in the history of Noah's Ark, clean animals went in by 7s, right? Unclean animals went in by 2s. So for a pig, it would be one male pig and one female pig. And for a clean animal, it would be 7 males and 7 female. That's correct. You understand?
Can.
And why? Because they were going to eat them. So because they were going to eat them, they would need so many of them. They were going to eat them during the trip for the 40 days. And they were also going to eat them immediately when they got off of the trip. So that's why you needed so many of them, because they were going to be eaten. All right.
So what that's it?
No sweat. Good to go.
Anything
Anything else?
Montreal with us as well.
Let me get Trinidad. Who is that right there?
Oh, Slack. That's Montreal right here.
Montreal. Give Montreal a hand. Montreal, what island do you come from again? I always try to remember the name of your island.
Salakia, sir. I'm from Martinique, out of one.
Martinique, brother. Give him a hand. Martinique. Aren't you also over Isupk France, or am I wrong?
Karawakan, sir.
Isupk France, Most High in Christ. Give him a hand. Who did that picture behind you? That picture.
Salakia, sir. If I'm not mistaken, that would be Officer 500, Officer 1000, Malak Maban Yashikar, if I'm not mistaken, out of one.
Get out of here. What zone is he in? What camp is he in?
Southern California, out of one.
God damn, that brother can draw. I mean, that's a serious depiction of Christ. One of the best I've ever seen. Well done. What's his name again?
Officer 1000, Malakma Ban Yashikar.
Malakma Ban Yashikar. Well done, warrior. Well done. All right. Bien hecho. Is that right, Yashikar? Bien hecho. Well done. All right. Go ahead. Next question. Gracias. Next question.
Come on, sir. Back to the comments. Brother asks, Salakia Alawap, can you break down Ecclesiasticus 36 and verses 1 through 6?
No problem.
Also, brothers from earlier have been saying the water, sir, for your breakdowns.
The water to you, brothers. I appreciate you.
Book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36.
You're a little low, warrior. I can't hear you well.
Be sure.
Slavia.
Please.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 36, beginning at verse 1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord God of all, and behold us, and send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee. Verse 3. Lift up thy hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power.
Oh, this is he wants me just to break this down.
Sir.
Listen, this is an excellent precept about the Most High's protection over Israel and his deliverance in battle that he will give us up. This is exactly what you're going to need right now in these days, because Lord knows you have an enemy that sits in great power, brother. An enemy that not only is your enemy, the nation of Israel has had an enemy in the White House since the beginning of America, since Great Britain, since Spain, since Germany, right? Since Portugal, right? But you have an enemy right now, brother, who is not satisfied with simply belittling you, with simply oppressing you. You have an enemy now that demands your self-respect. He demands it. And that is rare in modern times. It used to be that a white man was simply satisfied with your service, with oppressing you. It was good enough for him that you were his slave, but it is not good enough for Donald Trump. You working hard and building America and sustaining them and picking their crops and working in their fields is not good enough for Donald Trump. Donald Trump wants your self-respect up. He wants your dignity. He's not going to allow you to simply break your back for him in the heat of Texas, in the heat of California. He wants your self-respect on top of that as well. And so you're going to need to know that the Lord God is with you, brother. You're going to need to know it to keep your honor. Read it from the top.
Khan, out of Khan. Verse 36, verse 1. Have mercy upon us, O Lord God of all, and behold us. Verse 2. And send thy fear upon all the nations that seek not after thee.
Send thy fear upon the nations that don't seek after you. Send your fear upon them, man. Today there was a plane crash. There has not been a commercial airline craft in about 25 years. There hasn't been one. Of course, the second that Donald Trump gets in the White House, the planes fall from the sky. The second. Why? Because now the incompetents are in charge. America right now has a whites-only government. WOG. Is that whites only? Whites only government. That's the government of America now. When the plane crashed, Donald Trump came on the news and said, well, this must be because of DEI. This must be because of diversity in airplane pilots. Somehow it was the Mexicans' fault. Somehow. You heard that, Yashikar? Did you hear about that, Yashikar?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Oh, Yashikar. There was a plane crash today. About 67 people died in Washington, D.C. A military helicopter crashed into a commercial airplane. A commercial airplane hasn't crashed in 25 years. Right? Afterwards, Donald Trump blamed it on the Mexicans. He said it must have been because of DEI. DEI is a program called Diversity and Equality and Inclusion, meaning they must have tried to make blacks and Hispanics airplane pilots, and it must be their fault. They asked Donald Trump, they said, well, Donald Trump, why do you say that? Did race have something to do with this crash? He said, it could have. That's what he said, Yashika. He said it could have. That's who they chose to be president. He became president over hating you. Over hating you, everyone said, yes, I love this man because he hates the chosen people of God, the Mexicans. They made him president. Then the plane crashes, and somehow he finds a way to blame you again for the plane crash. I'm going to tell you the real reason for the plane crash tonight. Tonight, you just hang on until the end, until I get done with these questions. I'll explain to everyone really why this plane crashed. We're going to need the Most High's help because there's an enemy that has power now that wants your dignity. He wants it. Your labor is no longer good enough. Go ahead, Al.
Khan Khan, verse 4. As thou was sanctified in us before them.
You understand? As the Most High God was sanctified in us in front of them, that's what before them means. Meaning we sanctified the Lord God in the face of our enemies. We weren't ashamed to let our enemies know that we are Yashar Allah, Shema Yashar Allah, Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Akkad. We weren't ashamed to let the world know that the Israelites are the chosen people of God. If a white man with a small hat can say it and receive money and riches and Hollywood and a country of his own, then surely blacks and Hispanics can say it because in us, it is actually true. So surely we can say it. We weren't ashamed. We sanctified the Lord God in front of our enemies, before our enemies. Keep going.
Khan Khan.
That's correct, Wolf of the North. They forgot that black pilots saved America. You're going into my topic, Wolf in the North. You're going straight into my topic. Yes, I'm going to prove that tonight. Not only is it not the fault of blacks and Hispanics that this plane crash happened. If these were black and Hispanic pilots, that plane crash would have never happened. Because black pilots are better than white pilots. Black and Hispanic doctors are better than white doctors. Black and Hispanic inventors, scientists are better than white scientists or white inventors. We're genetically better than you. Genetically. I'll prove it tonight, all right? You keep going so I can get in my topic. Go ahead.
Khan Khan. So be thou magnified among them before us.
That's what he wants. Be thou magnified among them before us. We magnified you in front of them, Lord. Now you magnify yourself in them. He's asking the Most High God to destroy our enemies and do it so we can watch it. Our enemies watched us glorify your name. So now let us watch you glorify yourselves in destroying your enemies. That's our prayer. That's our prayer, and it's a holy thing. Keep going.
Khan Khan. And let them know thee as we have known thee.
Mm-hmm.
that there is no God but only thou.
Yeah, I think you understand. I think you get that part. Is there anything else?
Khan Adawakan, verse 6. Show new signs and make other strange wonders.
Oh, yeah. The Most High God is the one that's going to show new signs and make strange wonders. Do you think it's a coincidence that a military plane, crashed into a civilian commercial aircraft 2 weeks after Donald Trump becomes president and cancels the education of the Tuskegee Airmen in the Air Force? He just did it last week. People got so angry about it that he brung it back in. Donald Trump became president and stopped educating future pilots about the Tuskegee Airmen, who were the best fighter pilot. They assisted bombers. A bomber would be traveling to go bomb somewhere. The Tuskegee Airmen were fighter pilots that guarded the bombers to the target and guarded them back. There was no one better. There was no one that had a better record. They didn't lose one bomber. Not one bomber got shot down that it was guarded by the Tuskegee Airmen. Before the Tuskegee Airmen out, the Germans were shooting those goddamn bombers out the sky at will. At will. Now you learn about the Tuskegee Airmen and you think, well, these are black men that overcame racism to fight hard to be just like white people. And that's not what happened. That's not what happened. The Tuskegee Airmen were better than white pilots. Better than them. Why? Because they were black. That's why they were better. Because you're born better than them. You're born better than them. The Mexicans are better than white people. They're born better than white people. They always have been. It's in our bloodline. Success is in our bloodline. Victory, it runs through our veins. You don't believe it? Why do you think America is so great? America is great because we make it great. I'm going to prove it today. Well, Lord, show our enemies who we are. That's all. They don't want to believe who we are. But we worship you and we sanctify your name in front of them. Now, Lord, show them who you are. Let them see. Let them all see. Keep going.
Khan Adawakan, glorify thy hand and thy right arm.
Yeah, you know what that right arm does, right, warriors? You know what it does? Who's the reader? You know what that right arm does? It brings planes out the sky up. That's right. What it does.
Khan, sir.
You know, it raises up an illness, you know, that slaughters millions. That right arm, brother, knocks enemies out. That's what it does, brother. I pray you understand. All right, is there anything else? I think you get that. That's everybody understands the point. All right, next question. Come on.
Khan, sir, Toronto has a question.
Come on, Toronto.
Sir, if I may, I have a question about Tobit 7 and 14.
No problem.
Salakia, sir, I'm gonna read it right now, if I could.
No sweat.
Salakia, let me just get it 1 moment. Sir. This is Tobit 7 and 14. And called Edna his wife, and took paper, and did write an instrument of covenants, and sealed it. Salakia, sir. My question is, Salakia, sir, why did they make a covenant with the paper, right? That's what I'm trying to find out. And how do you battle Christians using this as law to say you have to go to the government to get married?
When did they go to the government? I'm asking you. Toronto, you there?
Salakia.
Did you hear me? Am I
Sorry, I
pausing?
didn't hear the question.
I said, when did Edna go to the government?
Sir, internet's kind of breaking up at the moment.
Yeah, I think he's freezing. He's freezing.
Sir, it's my internet.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me at well?
Sir, she did not.
Right. So what would this have to do with going to the government? If a Christian says that, this is what you do, Toronto. Just say, no sweat. Hand me a piece of paper. And just say, I'm tearing up that tail. I'm going to get her in all the different sexual positions and wail on that tail for a day. Give this to your mother and tell her to sign it. Then that's totally fine with the UPK. That's acceptable. Is that what the Christians would like to do? Toronto, he's freezing bad. Say again. Sir. He got to come off it, Mark. He's freezing too bad. Toronto, listen, I'll answer the question for you. If a Christian is saying do this, you should do it. Do just what it's saying. They went down to the mother and they wrote up a contract between the father and the husband. What was that contract for? Proof that this was a legal arrangement, meaning the father agreed to this. This was not done against the father's will. Remember, a marriage at one time was an agreement between the father and the husband. They agreed to it. The piece of paper is proof of the agreement. Also, the marriage bed sheet is the proof that the agreement was done in good faith, that the father gave you a woman that had not been with a man. You would present the bloody bed sheet to say the father did not cheat me. So you would write down a piece of paper that would say, I'm giving you my daughter. She has been with a man. This is her second marriage. The first one died. Or this is her first marriage. She has never been with a man. I'm giving you my daughter. You're giving me 10 goats. You're giving me 7 cows. You're going to work for me for 7 years, like in the case with Laban and Jacob, right? The agreement is put on paper. The father signs it and you sign it. Then you just have it in your hand. You take it home. If the father comes back and says, hold up, I told you I was going to give you 2 cows. You say, hell no, you didn't. You told me you were giving me 7 cows. Here's the piece of paper. The piece of paper was so the deal could be written down so that no one could say that the other one was lying. At the end of the marriage night, when you had sex with his daughter, you would come out and hand that father a bloody bed sheet. The father would keep the bed sheet. So later on, you couldn't say, man, your daughter wasn't a woman. Your daughter had had sex with a man already. Hell no, she didn't. I have the bloody bed sheet right here. It was a way to make sure that this deal was done in good faith and that no one was cheating anybody. And if a Christian woman wants to do that, come on and do it then. What's your problem? I'm going to tell you, I'll write down the positions I'm going to put your daughter in. I'm going to put her in I'm going to get her in the triple buck. I'm going to have her I'm so UPK. Even my sexual positions are 1 West. I don't do 4 play. I do 12 play, Ashar. Did I tell you that? I do 12 play. That I'm so UPK. I'm so 1 West. I don't do that. My favorite sexual position is 1969. Are you with me? Ashar, are you with me?
Sir, I hear you.
That's my favorite sexual position. The 1969. That's how 1 West I am, Mark. I'll write that down. I'm going to get into 1969. I'm going to give her a little 12 play. I'm going to give her this 1 West business. I'll write it down. Your mama can sign it, and then come with me. All right. You don't have to argue about it. Anything else?
I think that about covers that, sir.
All right.
Montreal has a question.
Go ahead.
So yeah, about the like the other one. It's kind of like a 2-part question. It's short. It's about stolen goods. So let's say, we were all in the world at some point. Then you're going through your stuff, and then you see some goods that you acquire in the world, but you stole it from somewhere or from someone. Now, what would be the Tawab thing to do? Would it be Tawab to just throw it away, or does it not matter anymore?
What's your name?
Officer 500 Baraki Allah, sir.
Has Baraki Allah stolen something from somebody?
La, sir.
Then what are we even talking about?
Karawakan, sir.
Anything else?
Karawakan, my second part question is, let's say, a person in the world, for instance, it's a brother or a sister, and they gift you something, let's say for a chain, for example, right? They give you a chain, but you know what type of things that they indulge in the world. However, they get their money. They bought that gift. They gave you with dirty money. Would that be wrong to accept the gift? Or should you just say la because you know what they indulge in?
Okay, so this person is a drug dealer in this metaphor, right? In this scenario, the person sells drugs and they want to give you a gift.
Karawakan.
And this is a person that you've told them that they should stop selling drugs.
Karawakan.
And then they hand you a gift with the drug money to give you a gift.
Karawakan, sir.
That person is trying to prove you a hypocrite by even offering the gift.
Right.
Do you understand?
Karawakan, sir.
Like that's not a gift, Doc. That's a bribe. Because the second you accept it, then they can say, I guess he really doesn't disapprove of my drug dealing. So really, it's not a gift at all. He's attempting to compromise you. You understand?
Karawakan, sir.
Don't even consider it a gift. It's an insult. He's insulting you by offering it to you. He's insulting you. You should not accept it. That's what happened all through my teenage years, back when the crack epidemic was destroying the Black and Hispanic community. So many drug dealers would go to a mother who told them, baby, don't sell drugs. Baby, stop selling drugs until you bought your mother a new TV or a new leather couch. And then the mother would, of course, take it. And then the son would continue to sell drugs until he was killed. You understand? That's not a gift. That's a bribe. That's a way to compromise you so that they can ignore every time after this that you tell them that they should stop selling drugs. So the short answer is no, you should not accept that. You should not.
Karawakan, sir.
No.
Salaki, if I may.
Yeah, please.
Real quick, and if that's the case, should you just speculate that they bought that bribe with dirty money?
Okay, here's and I'm giving you, this is a scenario without specifics. I have to answer this question in general. Do you understand? Okay, so I'm going to answer it in general. In general, if this is a person that you know, and you know that they're a drug dealer or something that you've told them they have to stop because you don't want them to die, you don't want them to go to jail, then they come and offer you a gift. That gift is not a gift, right? You know that they're a drug dealer. You know that they're a criminal. Now, if you don't know who this person is, then this is not a bribe because you don't know. You don't know who they are. You don't know if people come and put money in our bucket at camp or donate money to the school. We don't know where that money comes from. We don't know, but they know our stance on drug dealing. They know our stance on committing crime. They know that we are absolutely against it. They know that. And they know that fully. So we don't know who's putting money in the bucket. We don't know who's donating money, but the world knows that we do not support crime of any kind. Now, in your scenario, this is a person that you have told them stop selling drugs. They say, I'm going to keep selling drugs, and here's a car. You cannot take that car. You can't do that because then you are supporting the thing that you have said is going to kill them. Do you understand? That's a very in general, I'm giving it to you in a general way, all right? No problem. Next.
Sir. Sister asked, Shalom, sir, can you break down 1 Corinthians 15 and 33?
Okay. No problem. You got it, sis. Go ahead.
15 and 30. So like, sir, we're just going to pull that up real quick. 1 Corinthians 15 and 33. Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners.
Yeah. Evil communications corrupt good manners. Now, what is evil? Evil is the doctrine of the Christian church, right? The Christians are so rude and disgusting. There's been so many funerals that I've been aware of for these weeks up. And I mean, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say funeral. It's properly called a burial when you put them in the ground, a burial. And these burials I've had to come in contact and hear about interactions with Christians. Christians are the most rude and disgusting people in the world. There is just no one more rude. They just don't have any manners. Many times, you meet some brother might die or something like that. That's why you brothers, you better never die. If you die, I'm going to be so effing angry. You just don't know. You're not allowed to die in here. Does everyone understand?
Con out of one, con.
No one in the Israelite school of UPK has permission to die. Do you understand me? Because when you die, you put us through something terrible. Because now we have to deal with your mother. Now we got to deal with your evil family in the world. And guess what? Your family in the world stops us from burying you. That's what they do. They don't allow us to do it. They don't even allow us to come to the funeral, to the burial. They stop us. So now here we are talking to your mother who hates us, and your mother will not let us give you the proper burial rites. She won't let us wrap you with linen. She won't let us anoint your body with the ancient oils. She won't let us say the prayers over your body. She won't let us bury you in soil, as is a proper and decent burial to the Lord God. Your mother won't let it happen. Your mother won't even let us come to the burial at all. And every time it happens, I think to myself, we would never do this to them. We would never, in the history of the school, we have never and we would never stop a brother's or a sister's family from coming to an Israelite burial. We would never say no Christians are allowed to come to this burial. If you're not in the UPK, you can't come to this burial. We would never do that. Commanding General Yohana paid for this sister. This sister died in New Jersey, and I used to love this sister. I hate to even talk about her because I loved her. And she died, and she had a husband who then afterwards left the truth, which was disgusting. She had Commanding General Yohana paid for the burial, paid for everything in New Jersey. And there were white people that came to that burial. White people. Why? Because they were the friends of her mother. They were her high school teachers that she knew from the past and people that her mother knew. We let white people come to that burial. They were sitting in there and we were paying for it. We paid for it. We would never say, well, you know, your mama's white friend can't come to the funeral because we're paying for it. We would never do that to a Christian ever. But Christians always do it to us. And I'm telling you why. Because there is so much evil communication in that Christian church. They don't have any manners up. Christians are rude and disgusting. You watch. You're going to fight. You know this already. You know about all the fights that happen at funerals. All of the fighting. Everybody fights each other. You know why? Because you're all a bunch of gremlins. You're a bunch of raccoons fighting over a half-eaten bag of Doritos in a trash can. You don't have any manners. You have no class. So when someone dies, what do? You fight over his car. You fight over the insurance. You fight over whose name is going to be in the obituary. Jesus, Ishar. Do you know what I'm talking about, Ishar?
Khan, sir.
Ishar, have you experienced this in the past?
I have not, but I know these types of people, sir.
Ishar, that goddamn obituary arc. The physical punches that are going to be thrown over whose name is in the obituary or is not in the obituary, you're going to have a fight over that. You know why? Because you Christians don't have any manners. You don't have any grace. You don't have any class. In the UPK, we have grace and class. We're not going to stop your mother from coming to the burial simply because Commanding General Yohana paid for it and you were in the truth when you died. Your mother is able to come. Your mother's white friends can come. Anyone can come that wants to celebrate your life and mourn your passing. We would never do what Christians do. You Christians, you use the funeral to show who you hate. So you say that the children he has with that other woman, they can't come. His other woman, his side women can come. Let me tell you something. These side broads are supposed to be at these funerals. I'm telling you straight up and down now. You got brothers who are dying and they got 2 and 3 other women and 4 other kids, and they're not even allowed to come to the man's burial. The woman won't allow the side women to come. Though that side woman, that was her man too.
Right.
That was her man. And if you had any class, you would let her come. You would hug her. You would hug your husband's side woman at his funeral. You would hug her because you would think that she also has a loss. See, that's class, Ishar. That's One West class. They don't have that in the Christian church. Why? I'm sorry. Why? Because of the evil communication. They talk evil. All of that Christian, all of that Christian hypocrisy, all of that Christian pride, all of that Christian power.
Right.
Christians just care about power. So the minute you die, they sitting back. No, she cannot come. He cannot come. His name is not getting in the obituary. No, I'm burying him where I want to bury him. And no, they just use your death as a tool to hurt people. That's it.
Right.
Why? Because of the evil communication in that church. Things are not done like that in here. In here, we learn class. We learn class in here.
That's right.
Oro por tu entendimiento.
That's right.
Anything else?
Wow, sir, that's all on that. But Chicago has a question.
Please.
How about some of y'all say I broke a thug? How you doing, sir? One, a brother has a question. And 2 brothers have questions. One, he wants a breakdown of John 8, chapter 8 and verse 56. He wants to break down on how Abraham rejoiced when he saw Christ. I'm gonna get the script. So, book of John, chapter 8, verse 56. Your father Abraham rejoiced to see my day, and he saw it and was glad.
He saw it when Isaac was born. Because Jesus Christ was Isaac. Or else, when did he see it? You understand, right? Right? When else would he have seen it? The Bible says he saw it and was glad. That's what it says. He saw it. Did it say he will see it?
Saw it.
Which is the past tense. In the New Testament, it's the past tense because it happened in the Old Testament. That's when Abraham saw it. He saw it. So all you do is go back to when Isaac was born. And he was so glad because it was a promise by God that Abraham did not know would happen. Abraham went and got Hagar pregnant and had Ishmael because he did not believe that his 90-year-old wife, Sarah, would bring forth a child, even though the angel of God told her that she would have a child. Lo and behold, Sarah got pregnant. What a gift.
Right.
Now you just ask a Christian, when did Abraham see it and rejoice then? A Christian will have no answer at all. Everybody understands.
Colonel McCon, so like I said, another brother, a new troop.
Christ is Isaac. Let me just tie it together for you, for those that don't know. Go ahead.
A trooper who's in the academy, he wants he said, can he get a breakdown of Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 6 and the different precepts to support Deuteronomy 7 and 6?
No problem. Deuteronomy 7 and 6 is a whole ton of those. Is that the one with the marriages?
Sir, it's if I could. For Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God had chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Yeah, that's the gospel, brother. That's the damn truth. This is saying that the Israelites are not equal to all nations, but the Israelites are above all nations. There's a ton of these. Let me just think of one that I could give you to show you that the Israelites are the chosen people of God. Oh boy, which one? What's a precept for Deuteronomy 7 and 6? Above all nations of the, how about you only have I known? Give me that. I would probably go there. You only have I known of all the nations of the earth. Give him that precept. Yeah, that's, I believe, in Amos 3 or Amos 4. I can't hear you again, Chicago.
Amos chapter 3, verse 2, sir.
Go ahead and read it.
Colonel McCon, the book of Amos chapter 3 and verse 2. You only have I known of all the families of the earth.
That's what the Bible says. The Bible says the Lord God doesn't know anyone else. He doesn't know them. He has no relationship with the other nations. He has no relationship with our oppressor, with the Chinese, Japanese, Africans. He only knows you, man. Psalms 147, perfect precept. Officer Marai Ya'ala. And give me the Apocrypha. That's perfect. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. That's the one I was going to, Quatazar Karab. I was going straight there. Second Ezra 6 and 3 to 4. We'll read that one. But both precepts are excellent. I'm sure your camp leaders and Hebrew Academy instructors can give you many more. But for time's sake, let's just read Second Ezra 6 and 5 to 4. Go ahead.
Colonel McCon, sir. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 6 and 54. Salakia, one moment, sir.
6 and 54, my apologies. Go ahead.
Chapter 6 and verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou hast made it Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all.
You see, every living thing comes from Adam. We all people, every living person comes from Adam. We all, white people, black people, Chinese, Japanese, we all come from Adam. Go ahead. That's correct. Priest of war, all those precepts are right. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan. And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And what?
And also whom thou hast chosen.
Everyone comes from Adam, including and the people who God has chosen. God chose the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. He chose blacks and Hispanics. This is who he chose. He didn't choose all people on the earth. He chose one people with 12 tribes. Continue.
Colonel Wakan. Verse 55, all this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Most High God made the world. This society is made for us. It's not made for the other nations. This is what you have to understand, because right now, you're going to live in a whites-only government. The government is going to be whites only. You're not going to be able to be a pilot and be black anymore. You're not going to be able to be a pilot and be Hispanic anymore. You're not going to be able to work in the government and be black or Hispanic, because Donald Trump won the White House based on his promise to have a whites-only government. Let him have it. The planes will drop from the sky every day. The trains will no longer run on time, and COVID-20 will kill everybody. It's coming. COVID-20 is coming. You voted for COVID-20. That's what you wanted. You wanted COVID-20. Well, it's coming. It's coming. Except there won't be any black doctors over there at the where those the soldiers go when they're in the military. Where do the soldiers go to the doctor?
The infirmary, sir.
Say again.
The infirmary.
No, over in the Walter Reed,
Oh,
the VA hospital.
Yeah,
The VA hospital. There won't be any black or Hispanic doctors in the VA hospital, though. When you walk in there with COVID-20, because Donald Trump has promised and will deliver on a whites-only government, and your whites-only government is going to be incompetent. Absolutely incompetent. Why? Because God is with blacks and Hispanics. God knows us. Our blood is blessed. We're genetically better than you. Genetically. This is the precept. This is one of them. Our blood, our family, our genealogy has success in it, victory in it. God's blessing flows from between our legs. And without having us in government, the planes are going to drop out the sky. Continue.
Khan Wakan, verse 56. As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
The other people which also come from Adam, not the blacks and Hispanics, not the Israelites, but the other people. White people, Chinese people, Japanese people, mainly white people. Keep going.
Khan Wakan, thou hast said that they are nothing.
Wait, say that one more time.
Thou hast said that they are nothing.
They're also official.
Nothing.
They also have their own gifts and own talents.
Nothing.
You see, God said that they were nothing. That's what he said. Nothing. Continue.
But be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
They be like spit. And he has likened all of them, the abundance of them. It's like one drop that falls from a bucket. That's what they are. All of them. And if you don't believe me, when you have your whites only government and nothing works, the VA hospital shuts down, everyone is dead of COVID-20, then you're going to find some Mexicans to solve your problem. You're going to find some black people to fix the government in your new whites only government. All right, next. The water Chicago.
If I may, out of one.
Go ahead.
Will Genesis 25, sir, be a precept? One shall be stronger than the other? With Jacob?
Absolutely. There's a lot of precepts. Really, the whole Bible is about the Israelites being better than everybody else. That's the moral of the story.
Kind out of one kind. A sister in the comments, a sister that comments regularly. Apparently, her son is in the comments watching as well, and she wanted to ask her son's question: who wrote the Bible?
All right, Deandra. So, lock you out of one. I would like to my son Jemiah's question. All right, young man Jemiah, I see you getting in here. Who wrote the Bible? I'll explain. Give me Isaiah 34, I believe what it is, right? You see those names when you open up the Bible, right? You're going to see names. Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Hosea, and many more names in the Old Testament. And then in the back of the Bible, you'll see Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. You'll see the names of cities, right? These books were all written by men. Mainly the name at the top of the book is the man who wrote it, or the man who is written about, and his young men wrote it. His scribes wrote it for him. All right. You read the New Testament, you have books named after cities like Romans or the Philippians or Corinthians. These are letters that a man named Paul wrote. to brothers in those cities. So the names of the books tell you a lot about who wrote the actual books in the Bible. All right. The names at the top of the chapter. But all of the books in the Bible, every page in the Bible was inspired by God. The Most High God inspired men to write the Bible. And I'll give you a precept right on this right now, Jemiah. All right. Go ahead and tell them where it is.
Sir, Isaiah 34 and verse 16.
That's the precept you need, Jemiah. What'd you say again?
Isaiah 34 and 16.
Isaiah 34 and 16. Go ahead and read it.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
That's what the Bible is. The Bible is the book of God. There are many other great books out there. I would encourage you to read many books, Jemiah. There's so many books you can read about many topics. I myself, in my personal time, am an avid reader. Reading is good on any topic, on anything. You can just learn about the author's thoughts and the author's take on different things by reading many different books on any topic that you want to read about. But the Bible is different in this. The Bible is inspired by God. No other book is inspired by God. No other book is 100% true to God's will other than the Bible. That's the difference between the Bible and any other book that you might enjoy reading or learn from. Continue.
No one of these shall fail.
No one of these shall fail. What's the these we're talking about? The prophecies in the Bible, the things written in the Bible. Everything in your life is in the Bible. Every problem you encounter is written of in the Bible. The solution to those problems are written of in the Bible. The Bible is about everything because God inspired the words. Continue.
None shall want her mate.
There is no book that could join the Bible. No one would want a book that is mated to the Bible because there is no book good enough or inspired by God to be joined with the Bible. Continue.
For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them.
The Lord's mouth commanded every word in the Bible, and the Lord's spirit gathered these books together. Gathered the book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, Ezekiel, Philippians, Corinthians, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Put them all together in one so the children of God in captivity could have them. That's how we have the Bible today. And every answer in life is in there. Every future prophecy is in there. Learning of the past is in the Bible. Understanding your present day is in the Bible. Understanding the future is in the Bible. All right, I think that's good enough for Jemiah, all right?
Count out of one, count.
Anything else?
Florida has a question.
Please. Go ahead, Florida. Go ahead. What's going on, Warriors?
They're muted.
You two brothers look like y'all spend a lot of time with each other. You two brothers, you look like you're brothers, but I know you're not physical brothers, right?
Lost, we're distant cousins.
Listen, you One West twins. There's a lot of them. I know just what you mean. You start rolling with a brother so hard, you just start looking like the brother. I know just what you're talking about. Give yourselves a hand. Y'all brothers look like you're twins. And I know it's from just rolling so hard together. Well done, Akim. Good job.
The water to you, sir. The water.
Go ahead, Ak. What can I do for you?
A brother has a question. The question is, what is the difference between Romans 2 and 13 and Romans 3 and 20? One says that the doers of the law shall be justified. The other says that the doers of the law shall no flesh be justified.
All right. Well, the first thing you have to accept is that there is no contradiction in God. That's in the Bible.
Right.
The Most High God, in him, there is no contradiction. None. So these two scriptures absolutely do not contradict with one another. I'll just explain to you what they mean. All right.
Come on, sir.
Go ahead and read whatever one you would like to read first.
Yes, sir. Come on, sir. The water. The book of Romans, chapter 2, and verse 13. Which, Salaki, sir. For not the hearers of the law are justified before the Most High.
I'm sorry, brother. Can you come a little closer to the microphone? I'm sorry.
Come on, sir.
I can't hear you. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 2, and verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
For the hearers of the law are not justified before God.
Okay.
But the doers of the law shall be justified.
I'm going to break that down. The hearers of the law are not justified, but the doers are justified. I believe that might be simple for everyone to understand. Just listening to the law doesn't make you justified, but doing it actually makes you justified. Give me Donald Trump getting sworn in. Donald Trump recently, Donald Trump was sworn in. His wife went down there and got his wife, Melania Trump, who was a former naked porno actor. What was she? She was a naked model. What do you call it when you get in the magazines and you show your full naked behind? That was the first lady. She had naked pictures on the internet. I pulled them up in class one time. Naked pictures of Melania Trump, naked, in a Penthouse and Playboy magazines. Saw her full naked breasts and naked bony white behind. Well, when Donald Trump was sworn in, she went and she got the Bible that Abraham Lincoln was sworn in on. And she got Donald Trump's family's personal Bible. And let me show you what Donald Trump did. Go ahead. Bring it. Do you have a
and
picture?
will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution of the United States.
the Constitution of the United States.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. President.
Donald Trump, when he got sworn in, did not put his hand on the Bible. He didn't do it. I would like, Ishar, tell me if that has ever happened in the history of America that a president was sworn in and did not touch the Bible. His wife has 2 fists full of Bibles. She walking in there, double-fisted Bibles. Donald Trump did not touch them at all. He didn't touch them. You see, it's American tradition to touch the Bible and then do nothing that's in the Bible. That's American tradition. Donald Trump is so wicked, he couldn't even touch it. Listen, he couldn't even put his hand on it. He did not touch the Bible. Well, let me tell you something. Touching the Bible, talking about the Bible, listening to what is in the Bible doesn't justify you before God. Doing what's in the Bible justifies you before God. Now, that is very clear. It is right in front of you. There is no way to mistakenly understand that. You understand, Florida?
Yes, sir. Colonel Khan.
All right, now read the other precept.
Colonel Khan, sir. The book of Romans, chapter 3 and verse 20. Therefore, by the deeds of the law,
by the what? By the what?
Colonel Khan. Therefore, by the deeds of the law.
What does that word mean? Deeds.
Colonel Khan, that means the doing.
The doing.
Right.
So by the deeds of the law, go ahead.
Colonel Khan. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in the sight.
Slow down 1 second. By the deeds of the law, no flesh shall be justified. These precepts you pulled are precepts for each other. This is the same topic.
Colonel Khan.
You just have to use a little logic. Why is it? Why is no flesh, and why will no flesh be justified by the deeds in the law? Why? It's right there. You have to just break free. Break free. It's logic. Think about your other precept you read. Think about the other one you read, right? It's right in front of you. The only way to be justified by the law is what?
To do it, sir.
Why is it that no flesh shall be justified by the deeds of the law?
Because, so the law, the physical law is different. Slacky, sir.
It's right there. It's okay. It's all right. Listen, you're going to get this. It's right in front of your face, but it's just that the Bible has been lied on for so many thousands of years. That's the problem. But it's right in front of your face. I'm going to walk you through it again. There is only one way to be justified by the law, and that's what?
To do it.
And there is no way that anyone can be justified by the law because
they're not doing it.
Give him a hand.
That's
it. That's it. So you and I, can you and I say that we always kept the law?
Lie, sir.
How about the MAHAYAMAN? Can you say you always kept the law?
Lie, sir.
No, I can't be justified by the law. You understand? And I'm one West. And I still am not justified by the law because there was a time in my life when I was not one West. You understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
So I can't say I never ate pork. I can't say I never ate shrimp. I can't say I've never harmed anyone. I can't say that. So I'm not justified. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. I understand.
So the only way I can make it is through grace. That's how I'm going to make it. I'm not going to make it through keeping the law because I have not, but I can make it through grace. What is grace? Grace is my understanding and ability to keep it from here on.
Yes, sir.
I can keep it from here on.
Yes, sir.
I can't say I've always kept it, but I absolutely can keep it from here on. And in doing so, then I can then be justified through grace, because then I can be forgiven for the times when I did not keep it.
Yes, sir.
I can earn that forgiveness because of the death of Jesus Christ. I can earn that, but I haven't always been that type of person. You understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You be good here?
Yes, sir. The water, sir.
The water to you.
The water to you.
The water to you. Next.
If I may, I don't want.
Huh?
Can you break down a general breakdown of the second half of that verse and the next verse, sir? I'll start from the top of the verse. Therefore, by the deeds of the law, there shall no flesh be justified in his sight. For by the law is the knowledge of sin.
You want me to break that part down for you?
Oh, God, sir.
For by the law is the knowledge of sin. Meaning what? I would never know that I was a sinner until I learned the law. Why was I breaking the law in times past, Levi?
Because you did not know. Because you didn't know. Because you did not know.
I didn't know. I didn't know it was wrong to hurt those people. I thought you were just doing what you had to do. Right? That's what we all thought. We all just were products of our environment. We just did what everyone did around us. We did what our families did, or we did what our neighborhoods did, our barrios. We just did what everyone around us did. We didn't know it was against the law of God. We didn't know it until we went and actually were taught the law. Now we know that we're sinners. Now we know. And with that knowledge, now we can change ourselves, because now we realize that we are wrong. But before that, we didn't even think it was wrong. It was not wrong at all to do it. Through knowledge of the law is sin, because now you know, wait a minute, God said, I remember the first time I came into the truth, I could not believe that the Christmas tree was in the Bible. I remember thinking, what? What am I reading? The Christmas tree is wrong. I couldn't believe it was in there. There's so many things I read up that I was doing that I couldn't even believe that it was wrong. Tattoos are wrong. Who in the hell knew that getting a tattoo was wrong? You didn't know. I damn sure didn't know that committing violence against a man was wrong. I thought that was absolutely justified. I thought that was just what you were supposed to do. I thought you had to do it. I thought it was wrong not to do violence to a man until I read the Bible. Then I knew I was a sinner. You understand, Levi?
Come out of one con, sir.
Go ahead.
Verse 21. But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested.
But now the righteousness of God without the law. What does it mean when it says without the law? Right there in Harlem, you are without the law, but you're still righteous. You're without the law, but you're still righteous. Who wants to explain? What does the law say must happen to someone who has a Christmas tree, who eats pork, who eats shrimp? What does the law say? What does the statute say? What does the law say? Who knows?
They must be unalive, sir.
It says they must be killed. Is anyone killing you over you celebrating Christmas when you were in the world?
La'ah.
Is anyone killing you over you going to church when you were in the world?
La'ah.
So why aren't you still going to church then?
Because of the righteousness of God.
Give him a hand. That's what it means. That's it. You see, remember the brother asked the question, the difference between laws, statutes, and commandments. The law involves the punishment for breaking the commandment. The law involves the punishment for breaking the statute. That's what the law is. The law is just not don't steal. The law is if you steal, you have to pay it back 7 times. If you steal, your hand has to be cut off. That's the law. The law involves the punishment for breaking the commandment or the statute. Well, we are not being punished for the crimes we committed in the past. Yet, we are never breaking those commandments again. Even though we're not being arrested, we're not being stoned, we're not being killed. But we are still keeping God's law without the punishment. We're doing it because it's the right thing to do, which is what this precept is talking about. You understand, Levi?
Come on, one con. The last part, sir. Being witnessed by the law and the prophets.
Being what?
Being witnessed. I'll start from the top, sir. Verse 21. But now the righteousness of God without the law is manifested, being witnessed by the law and the prophets.
What is being witnessed by the law and you said witnessed with an ED on the end?
Con, sir. Witnessed.
What is being witnessed by the law and the prophets?
Being righteous without the punishment of the law.
Our righteousness is being witnessed, meaning what? We were men who committed transgressions against God. We broke his commandments. And according to the law, we should die. We broke the commandments. The law says you have to die if you break the commandments. That's what the law is. The law is simply not the commandment. The law is the punishment for breaking the commandment. You understand, Levi?
Con out of one con.
But we are keeping the commandment without the punishment. We're not in fear of getting arrested if we eat a pork sandwich, but we're still not eating it. So our righteousness is witnessed by the law and the prophets. We are doing the thing that the law wanted us to do. We're doing it. We're doing the thing that the prophets wanted us to do. What was the whole goal of the law? Why did the Most High God say he would kill anyone who worshiped a strange God? Why did he say it, Levi?
For you not to worship a strange God.
And we are proof that we are not worshiping the strange God. We're not doing it. And so the law is working in us. And we are not under it. We're not being stoned. We're not being killed. And yet we're still keeping the commandments of God. What was the goal of every prophet that ever went out and told people to repent, which is all of them? What was their goal, Levi?
For the people to repent, to serve God.
And we are doing it. Do you understand? That's why we're not dead. We're not dead because we're obeying God. There's no punishment for breaking the law in Harlem. There's no punishment. You can eat pork, eat shrimp, be a transgender, be gay. You can do all these things in Harlem, yet we are not doing them in the UPK. Why? Because we learned that breaking those commandments were sins. We learned that because we heard that God kills men that does these things. The law taught us that. So now we stopped doing it, even though we're not being killed. We still stopped. That makes us righteous because we're not doing it out of fear of dying. We're not doing it because we love God. This is what the prophets wanted. This is what the law intended, to change us. We were changed without being stoned, without being burned, without being killed. We were changed. This is what the law wanted. This is what the prophets wanted. Their witness to our change. Their witness to our righteousness. Do you understand, Levi? No problem. Next, próximo.
Come on, sir. I think it's time we can get into your topics.
Clap it up. Let's get into it right now. All right, we're going to go into a topic right now. What do you have first up?
Let's see. I have the Yale study that shows the way preschool teachers single out black boys.
Listen, I'm going to show you something about being black and Hispanic, which I know you don't know because of the propaganda taught to you about yourself. Here is the goal that I would like to achieve tonight. You're better than white people. You're better than them. If you're a Guatemalan, a Venezuelan, if you come from Tamus, give me, where are you from, Yashikar? Wait, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Tamus? No, not
The
Tamus.
other one.
Say it. Say it for me.
Reynosa, Tamaulipas.
Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Gracias. Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Reynosa, Tamaulipas. Reynosa, Tamaulipas. If you're from Reynosa, Tamaulipas, you're better than white people. You're better than them. I know you don't know that because of the propaganda that you now believe about yourself if you're from Reynosa, Tamaulipas. But I'm going to tell you what God says about you. You're better than white people. White people could have never suffered what you suffered. White people could have never triumphed over such hatred. The reason you did is because you're special and your blood is better. You're better than them. Check this out. Go ahead.
Let's get to the video.
Researchers at Yale showed teachers this video clip of 4 preschool students. Their instructions: look for misbehavior and click when you see it. The study was kind of deceptive. None of the kids in the video actually misbehaved. The researchers were using eye tracking software. What they actually wanted to study was who the teachers were watching. Both black and white teachers spent significantly more time watching the black boy in the video. This study showed that even preschool teachers can treat kids differently based on their race without even realizing it.
Stop. Let me explain this study. This is a study at, I think, Yale University, where they went and got preschool teachers, women who are actually preschool teachers, and they just put them in front of a table full of black children, white children, and they said, I want you to tell me which one of these children is doing bad behavior. Now, the teachers did not know this, but none of the children were doing bad behavior. But the particular computer that they were using was a program that noticed eye stimulation. And so the computer noticed that the teachers kept staring at the black boy. They just kept staring at him, even though no child was doing any bad behavior. But the teacher kept his eye on the black boy. They kept watching him. Black teachers did this and white teachers did this. Do you understand? That is how terrible the racism against blacks and Hispanics is. Even black people are racist against black people. Commandant General Yohana has been trying to tell you this for years. Black cops hate you because you're black. They hate you. Black politicians hate you because you're black. Hispanic cops hate you because you're Hispanic. They're staring at you. This is the reason for the prisons being so filled up with black people and Hispanics. It's not because white people are not committing crimes. It's because white people are not being policed. No one is watching them. No one is looking at them. They could sell all the drugs they want. They could sell all the crystal meth and prescription pills that they want to sell. No one will even look at them. How could we go through this and still survive here? We're better than them. We go through this in preschool. Preschool teachers, when they go to look at a class to determine which child is bad, the preschool teacher has determined that you are bad even when you have not done anything. And they do this even if the preschool teacher is black and Hispanic. How did we survive here? We survived here because our bloodline is better than theirs. They could never have been through this. If white people were looked at the way that we are looked at, they would crumble under the pressure. They would crumble under the scrutiny that we suffer under. If they were police like us, they would all just commit suicide. They couldn't go through it. How have we been able to go through it? Because we are the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the chosen people of God, and there is no witchcraft against Jacob. There is nothing that they could do to us that could hurt us. We're better than them. Now the government doesn't want us involved in the government. No problem. Try to keep your planes in the sky without us. Try to keep your food on the table without us. Try to keep the farm alive without us. Try to have inventions. Try to keep the gasoline running and the electricity working without us. You want a whites-only government, you got it. You got it. And your government is completely incompetent without us. Continue.
Look elsewhere in the U.S. school system, and you'll see.
Come on, sir. We got a couple of articles on the history of Chinese restaurants.
How did I forget about this? Listen carefully, warriors. Let me tell you something else about black people that I know you'll understand by the end of this education. I know your whole life you've noticed that there are Chinese restaurants in black and Hispanic neighborhoods, and there are no Chinese restaurants in white neighborhoods. And your whole life you might have wondered why. Why is that? Or maybe you never even noticed. I'm going to explain to you why there are so many Asian restaurants and nail salons in black neighborhoods and why there are none in white neighborhoods. And then I want you to tell me why. Keep going.
So this first one is from the Cato Institute.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The War Against Chinese Restaurants. And this article goes into the history of how Chinese restaurants were run out of white neighborhoods.
Please read.
A century ago, Chinese restaurants were deemed a serious menace to society.
A what?
A serious menace to society.
Let me tell you what happened. At the end of remember that you had subsequent wars in Asia. You had the Vietnamese War and you had the Korean War. Then you had wars like in Laos and different Asian places like that. Now, at the end of those wars, remember, America lost the Vietnamese War. The Korean War was fought to a stalemate. At the end of those wars, there were allies that stood on the side of America. But when the war was over, the enemy was still in charge. At the end of those wars, the presidents at those times knew that they had to help their Asian allies that were in those countries. Bring me back full screen. They had to help their Asian allies. They had many allies in South Vietnam. They had many allies in South Korea. And they knew at the end of the war, they had to help the allies of America. So they decided to bring them all to America to reward their loyalty for how they helped America during the Vietnamese War and the Korean War. And they brought them into white neighborhoods. Originally, Chinese restaurants were in white neighborhoods. Why? Because the people running these restaurants were doctors and lawyers and military geniuses who helped America in the Vietnamese War. These were not peasants. These were sophisticated, educated people in their countries, but now they're coming to America. And America wanted to help them. They wanted to give them a business so that they could be as successful as they were in Vietnam and in Korea. So they gave them their own restaurants. They gave it to them. And they gave it to them in white neighborhoods to reward them with a good life. But here's the problem. White people have no sense of hospitality. White people are not kind. They are not generous. So this is what happened when allies of America in Vietnam and Korea came and moved in to white neighborhoods to start a business given to them by the American government. This is what happened. Go ahead.
First, the restaurants employed Chinese workers and successfully competed with other restaurants, which prompted white unionists to claim the Chinese restaurants denied our own race a chance to live.
You see, I've tried to teach you this about white people from Commanding General Yohana's own mouth. White people cannot stand competition. They cannot stand it. They hate it. White people will not compete with you on fair ground. Chinese people came over to America. They earned the right to be here by aiding America above their own people. They betrayed their own people and sided with America, and they earned the right to have a restaurant in that white neighborhood. White people said, nah, I'm not competing with Chinese restaurants. I'm not having it, because white people do not have the ability to compete. They don't have success in their blood. The only way they can succeed is if there's no competition. So they went and they complained and they said these Chinese restaurants are destroying white restaurants. Get rid of them. Keep going.
Second, Chinese restaurants supposedly were morally hazardous to white women.
Oh, what? Read that again.
Chinese restaurants were supposedly morally hazardous to white women.
You see, this is the plan of, this is what white people always do. This is them. They said first, these Chinese restaurants, they're competing with white restaurants. We can't handle competition. Next, they're going to destroy our white women. These Chinese restaurants will compromise our white women. Keep going.
One observer noted that, quote, beer and noodles in Chinese joints have caused the downfall of countless American girls.
This is a real, do you think I'm making this up? I'm not making this up. This was happening. They said our white women are eating these noodles and they're drinking sake and drinking beer and they're becoming sexual, they're becoming prostitutes. White women would be a prostitute if they read the Bible every day. There is nothing that could stop a white woman from being a slut. Nothing. But they blamed it on noodles and beer. This is actually in the news of the day. They said white women are eating those noodles and they're drinking that beer in them Chinese restaurants and they're becoming sluts and promiscuous. That's what they said. Keep going.
Another quote from a newspaper, the Bridgeport Herald from Connecticut, reported, quote, many a young girl received her first lesson in sin in Chinese restaurants.
That's what happened. These news stories went everywhere. Everywhere. Give me the violence that happened. Do you have it right there?
Con, sir.
Go ahead. Give me split screen with the thing you're reading, if you can. Go ahead.
Salaki, sir. Riots and boycotts. Early methods of eliminating Chinese competition included threats and violence. For example, Chinese restaurant owners in Selma, California were driven out by organized labor. Boycott was another important tool.
Let me tell you something. Chinese people tried to have their restaurants in white neighborhoods, and they committed violence against them until they had to leave. They broke all their windows. They burned their restaurants down. They would boycott them. They would say, no white person is allowed to eat in this Chinese restaurant. They boycotted them. They broke their windows and burned down their restaurants. You wonder why Chinese restaurants are in Black and Hispanic neighborhoods. It's because white people are so cruel and so afraid of competition that they were not allowed to be in white neighborhoods. They weren't allowed to be in there because white people would kill them if they opened up these restaurants. They would spread lies about them, rumors about them. They would say they're corrupting their women, and they would burn down their restaurants. Any more?
Sir, I mean, there's more details, but that about.
Now, so what did Chinese people do? Now give me what happened in the Black restaurant. So then when the whites only government at that time saw that, damn, I would like to reward these Chinese people with a good business. They helped us in Vietnam. They helped us in Korea. I'd like to give them a restaurant, but white people are never going to let them come into their neighborhood. Then, of course, the United States government turned to the one people who are kind, the one people who are hospitable. Black people at the time in Black neighborhoods were not allowed to get a loan to open up a Black business in a Black neighborhood. Hear me well. Black people were not given loans to open up businesses in their own neighborhoods. If you were Hispanic, you were not allowed to open up a Hispanic restaurant in a Hispanic neighborhood in Texas or in California. The bank would never give you a loan. Never. Never. Chinese people were given those loans the minute that they saw that they weren't allowed to stay in white neighborhoods because white people would kill them and burn down their restaurant. So then they did not ever allow Black people to have their own restaurants. They began to give these loans to Chinese people. Go ahead and read it.
So this article is called "Why So Many Asian Businesses in Black Neighborhoods." Asians have been opening businesses in Black communities in the United States since Chinese-owned stores sold groceries to newly emancipated Black Americans in the South during Reconstruction. This dynamic didn't just come about. It's been manufactured for over a century with policies, laws, and conditioning. Understanding what caused this tension might be the first step to undoing it. Starting in the 1960s, Asians looking to start businesses in America found themselves blocked from opening in white neighborhoods.
Found themselves what?
Blocked from opening in white neighborhoods.
You see, this is what you have to understand. They didn't just come to Black neighborhoods. They tried to go to the white neighborhoods because they were better neighborhoods. They were nicer. But white people have no sense of loyalty. White people can't be loyal to their allies in Vietnam, to their allies in Korea. Let me tell you something about white people. You're going to see this soon. Once those ex-Navy SEALs begin to be terrorists all over America. White people are radically disloyal. Radically. You give me a white man that fought for the United States military, he hates the United States military. He hates them because he was in the military. He hates them. And he's going to become a terrorist. That's what he's going to do. White people have no sense of loyalty. They have no sense of, well, these people were our allies in Korea. They were our allies in Vietnam. please come into our neighborhoods and set up a business. Hell no. White people have no sense of hospitality, and they are not loyal to their allies. They burn down all of the Chinese restaurants in white neighborhoods. They were rejected from white neighborhoods. That's how they ended up in black neighborhoods. Continue.
Mostly by banks that refused to give them loans anywhere near the wealth of those communities.
After they burned those stores down, then the bank said, we can't loan you. We can't give you a loan to set up a business in a white neighborhood. Your business is going to get burned down. We're not giving you a loan to set up in a white neighborhood, but we will give you a loan to set up in a black neighborhood. That we will approve. Next, I'm going to ask you a good question. Keep going.
Instead, banks offered loans for new businesses in black communities.
Now, let me ask you a question, everyone. Why did the banks not give them loans in white neighborhoods when they did in the beginning? They stopped because white people burned their restaurants down, threw bricks to their windows. But the bank said, yeah, we will give you a loan to set up in a black neighborhood. Why did the bank do that? I need an answer. Now, remember, banks care about one thing and one thing only. Why did the bank approve loans to a black neighborhood? Milwaukee.
Because Shalaki, I don't want because they wanted to run us out of Milwaukee. I mean the inner city.
Let me help you out. That's not the reason, because black people already were not allowed to set up a business in black neighborhoods. Already. Black people could not get a loan to set up a restaurant in a black neighborhood. Hispanics could not get a loan to set up a restaurant in a Hispanic neighborhood. Why did they allow them to give? Why did they give loans to the Chinese people, to the Vietnamese and Koreans? All you have to understand is why they did not give them loans in white neighborhoods. That's all you need. I'll keep reading until you get it. Go ahead, Al.
Colonel Khan, sir. Banks had deemed the neighborhoods high risk for loans as part of redlining, the discriminatory banking practice of classifying neighborhoods worthy of investment based on the racial makeup of the people who lived there.
Banks said this is a black neighborhood, so black people cannot get loans there. Always remember this whenever any white man says that they made it in America off of their own intelligence or their own hard work. White people did not get anything from hard work, nothing. White people were given success and they squandered it. They were given a hand up in life and they squandered it on nothing. They were given everything. All the banks were on their side. And the government was on their side. The GI loan was on their side. Everything in America helped to support white people, and they did nothing with it but become the devil on the planet Earth. They did nothing with it. We were given nothing. We were given nothing. Our neighborhood was given to the Chinese. It was given to them and not given to us. When they tried to move into white neighborhoods, white people killed them. They allowed the Chinese to make restaurants in our neighborhood. Why? What does he say? Read that, please.
Black Authentic Truth says, because we accept everyone, we would not fight back.
Give him a hand. That's it. That's the reason. Why the Black Authentic Truth? Let me tell you something about your people, Black Authentic Truth. Your people are the true and authentic, hospitable people of the planet. Do you understand what blacks and Hispanics did in the 1960s? I don't think you get it. White people burned down these Chinese restaurants, threw bricks through their window. Have you ever heard that Chinese people will eat your pets, eat your cats, eat your dogs? That comes from white people. That's what they said when they tried to open up businesses in white neighborhoods. They said, They're going to eat your pets. They're going to eat your dogs and eat your cats. They're going to get your women drunk on noodles and beer. They're going to do that. And then they would throw a brick through the windows. Black people were sitting in a neighborhood where they could not even open up a business. Yet when Chinese people came in there to open up a business, we opened our arms to them. We opened our hearts to them. We treated them with kindness and grace. We treated them like this is our neighborhood and you are welcomed. We should run the world because we're better than white people. We're better than them. We accepted the Koreans, even though we could not open up that business. We tried to get a loan to open up a business. The bank wouldn't give us a loan. This Chinese man went and he got the loan. And you know what we did? We shopped in his restaurant. We shopped in his grocery store. We did not burn it down. We did not throw a brick through the window. We accepted him. Shouldn't we be the ones that should sit in the position to reward allies? Shouldn't we be in charge? Because we have more grace than white people do. We have more kindness. Look at the North American Indian. Look at how he treated the white man, the pale face that came to his land and enslaved him and hung him and gave him diseases. He showed him where the buffaloes roam. He showed him where the water is. He showed him how to get through the winter time. Aren't we the kind people of the earth? Aren't we the people with hospitality and grace, hospitalidad? Aren't we the people who are kind? Then why aren't we the people that rule? We should rule. We should be in charge. We're better than white people. We're better than them. And we're not better than them because somehow we've overcame racism. We're better than them because our bloodline is better. Our genealogy, our genetics are better than them. Our genealogy goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the sons of David, the sons of Jeremiah, Ezekiel. Samson was one of us. The great builders of the planet Earth were our people. We're better than white people. We treat people better than white people. Let me tell you something else about us. We're better pilots than white people are. We are. Give me the Tuskegee Airmen up. We're better pilots than white people. Those of you that don't know, there was a plane crash yesterday or today. Was it today? It was today. There was a plane crash where a United States Black Hawk helicopter in Ronald Reagan Airport collided with a commercial airliner. Commercial. This hasn't happened in 25 years, right? Somehow they took off at the same time at Ronald Reagan Airport and they crashed into each other. Everybody's dead. All 3 military pilots are dead, and all 65 people that were on that plane are dead. Donald Trump came out and he said, well, there must have been some diversity in the hiring of that pilot. Somehow that must have been a nigger or a spicker pilot in that flight. Let me tell you something, Donald Trump. No. White people have been the cause of every airline crash that has ever happened. White people have been crashing planes since Amelia Earhart, you dummy.
Right.
Since Amelia, white people have been the cause of every airline tragedy from Amelia Earhart to the Challenger disaster to 9/11. What do you think would have happened if it was some real hardcore brothers from La Raza in that airplane pilot that were pilots of those planes on 9/11? Those terrorists walked in there and took over those planes with box cutters. That's what they had up. Can you imagine some Arab pushing his way into the cockpit with a box cutter and cutting the throats of 3 men? Not in La Raza, not with Los Españols. No, not in Judah. There would have been no way that a man with a box cutter could have killed 3 pilots if they were black and Hispanic. It would have never happened. Never happened. White people have been the pilots on every airline disaster in history. Every last one of them. From Amelia Earhart until yesterday. All of them. Why? Because white airplane pilots are incompetent. They're not good pilots, Ark. They're terrible at being pilots. They're terrible at being scientists. They're terrible at being doctors. They're terrible at being nurses. They're terrible at being inventors. They're terrible at being bank officers. They're terrible entrepreneurs. The only reason that white people win in anything is because they kill the competition before they can get started. That's it. That's all. White people burn down and kill their competitors, and that's why they win. But if they would compete with black people, compete with Hispanics, come on. They would never win, ever. Let me tell you about the Tuskegee Airmen. Pull them up on the screen. Let me give you their story. I think I sent someone this with with Eleanor Roosevelt. Let me give you a brief story, you young brothers and sisters, to get something in your stupid heads. Listen carefully. There was a white woman named Amelia Earhart. I'm sorry, Eleanor Roosevelt. Eleanor Roosevelt was the first lady at this time. She was married to Theodore Roosevelt. Now, Theodore Roosevelt was president of the United States when World War II began. And at the beginning of World War II, the war was not going well for America and Great Britain and its allies. They were attempting to bomb Japan, to bomb Germany, but their bombers were getting shot out of the sky before they could ever drop their payload of bombs. They didn't know what to do. They were thinking about what to do. They didn't know what to do. Eleanor Roosevelt heard about this troop of black fighter pilots, and she heard that they were amazing in their training. I mean, you can imagine what the Tuskegee Airmen were doing with an airplane. The Tuskegee Airmen were in an airplane like LeBron James is on a basketball court, like Magic Johnson is on a basketball court, like Walter Payton is on a football field. They were doing amazing things with these airplanes, but they weren't allowed to fight. They weren't allowed to fight. Eleanor Roosevelt went to where they trained in, I believe, North Carolina. And she went and she watched them in the sky. And she said, could I fly with them? And the Secret Service at that time said, no, you cannot fly. They thought it was too dangerous. They called the president and they said, your wife wants to fly with the Tuskegee Airmen. He couldn't stop her. She got on the plane and she flew in a plane with them, and she had someone film it. And they were in the sky with the first lady flying around. And it was amazing. The things that they could do that no white pilot could do. When they landed, she called her husband and she said, I think these black pilots are your answer to getting those bombers to their targets. This is Eleanor Roosevelt. You can find this video on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Finally, her husband said, damn. They put out a big press release. It got big in the media. And because it got so big in the media, and America was ashamed that the Air Force was still segregated and that black pilots were not allowed to fly, that Roosevelt allowed the Tuskegee Airmen to escort bombers into the field. Before this day, I think they were losing 1 out of 3 bombers. The Tuskegee Airmen, for the entire time that they escorted bombers, never lost one. Do you understand me? They never lost 1 bomber. None. It was a phenomenon. No one could understand it. They flew better than white pilots. They were better than them. They went to the same schools as white pilots. They went to the same schools, but their reflexes, their eyes, the Lord was with them. God was on their side. And they never lost a single bomber, period. Oh my God, that's how they got famous. That's how they got famous. All of a sudden, people are looking at them like, what in the hell is going on? And the story began to be switched to, these pilots have overcome racism to become equal to any white pilot. Bullshit. Bullshit. The Tuskegee Airmen were not equal to any white pilot. They were better than every white pilot. They were better than them. Why were they better? Because God was with them. Show me, give me split screen with Harlem. Harlem, I know you've never heard of these brothers before. There was some cats called the Harlem Hellfighters. Who has ever heard of them? Brother, give them a hand. That was these cats from Harlem. Every last one of them was from Harlem. And I believe it was World War I. And there's a specific cat, what was his name? Leroy Johnson. Look up this brother. He was a member of the 54th Regiment. I believe that they were definitely nicknamed the Harlem Hellfighters because all of the regiment was from Harlem and they were black. And at this time, the military was segregated. So if you were black, you had to dig ditches. You had to do manual work. What's his name right there, Rob?
Henry Johnson.
Henry Johnson. At this time, the military was segregated. So if you were black, you dug ditches, did manual labor. You didn't get into the fight. But many times, if they thought that everyone was going to get killed, then they would put a black regiment at the front of a battle because they believed that it was suicide. And that's what happened. The Harlem Hellfighters were told to keep this hill no matter what. The white military structure knew that it was impossible to keep this hill, but they needed a diversion. They needed just someone to waste time with the enemy so that white soldiers could get away and perform a more important mission. So they gave it to these Harlem Hellfighters, which were cats who just dug ditches, who didn't even have any training. But they said, listen, you hold this hill. Brother, the Harlem Hellfighters killed every German there. So much so that it was one cat left. This cat, what's his name again?
Henry Johnson.
Henry Johnson held this hill alone, by himself. You understand me? Alone. He shot up all of his bullets. His bullets were gone. Then he took the guns from the Germans he killed, and he used their guns to kill them. They kept coming. He shot them with his guns. Once he didn't have any more of them, he picked up a knife and kept killing the Germans and taking their guns and killed them alone. How many people did he kill, Ishar?
It said he fought off a German raid, killing. It just says multiple German soldiers.
Keep going. The real report will come out later on down. He killed so many of these people like it was insane. The Germans begin to have a myth about the Harlem Hellfighters. They begin to call them those black devils because they got so famous because these cats kept this hill up and would kill in a supernatural way. The Germans couldn't understand it. And they begin to just call them those black devils because they were better soldiers than white soldiers. They went through the same training. Salakia, they had less training than the white soldiers. They weren't. Come on.
It says it could have been up to 36 soldiers.
This one cat, one man, he kills 36 of them. They have rifles. He has a knife. He kills them. All throughout history, you'll find these stories. You'll find men like Pancho Villa and great men who just killed so many men fighting someone else's battle, fighting someone else's war. But the gift of God is with them. God's gift is with them. And now here today, here we are. Planes drop out the sky on Donald Trump's watch. The second it's over, Donald Trump blames black people. He blames Hispanics, even though there were white pilots in the seats of these airplanes. He still blames Hispanics. Would you say, Warrior?
Salakia, sir, I have a precept. I wanted to know if this is a good one.
Please.
This is First Maccabees, the 4th chapter, right before Judas takes back the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Now, therefore, let us cry into heaven, if peradventure the Most High will have mercy upon us, and remember the covenant of our fathers, and destroy this host before us this day, before our face this day.
Yes, that's a precept. That's correct. If you want to defeat racism, you will never defeat racism with teaching equality. Give me the baby doll test. The only way to defeat racism is to let black people know the obvious historical truth. They are better than white people. Let Hispanics know that you are better than white people. You're better than them. There will be no food in America without Hispanics because white people could never work like you. They could never do it. If they tried to do it, they would die in those fields that your grandparents work in. They would die there. The true answer to white racism is to teach blacks and Hispanics that they're better than white people because it's true. It's historically true. It's true in your genes, in your genetics, it's true. This is the baby doll test where black children would pick a white baby doll whenever you said, which one is the good one? Which one is the nice one? Which one is the smart one? And black children would pick a black baby doll when you ask, which one is the criminal? Which one is the bad baby? Little black children pick the doll that looked like themselves. I'm trying to teach you where this comes from. There is a racism taught to you about yourself that you believe. There's a racism taught to Hispanics. Why do you think so many Hispanics voted for Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump hates Hispanics, which makes some Hispanics like him and want to vote for him because there are so many Hispanics that hate their own face, that hate themselves. And so they trust a white man that knows enough to hate them. They trust him. He's smart. He hates me just like I hate myself. If you want to reverse this, you're going to have to face a truth that you don't want to face. Blacks and Hispanics are better than white people. We're better than them. We always have been. You crash all the planes, white people. You're Amelia Earhart. You're the captain of the Challenger disaster. You're the pilots on 9/11 who gave up your airplane to a bunch of Arabs with box cutters. You're the reason that planes crash. You're the reason that there are disasters. You're the president that let COVID-19 come into America and kill everybody. You did that. You're the problem with the planet Earth. We haven't ruined this planet. You have. You destroyed the ozone layer. You poisoned the water. You destroyed the environment. You're the reason the turtles are dying and the bees are almost gone. You are the problem. Right. We haven't done it. If we ran this earth, even the birds would thank us. Even the flowers would grow better. Give me the book of Job. I'll ask the birds and they would tell thee. Even the grass would be healthier. If we ran the planet, every 7 years, we would rest the earth. We would let the earth rest. Even the earth would thank us for our good leadership, for our good governance. Look at what you're doing to the planet. You've been president 2 weeks. You got rid of every black and Hispanic, and you stopped the Tuskegee Airmen, a movie, from even being shown to future pilots. And now the planes fall out the sky That's God's will. That's God that did that. I pray you understand. You're in a whites-only government. Let America have its whites-only government. A whites-only government is an incompetent government. It's a government with incompetence at the wheel. Give me the precept I asked for just now. Give me the one in Psalms I asked for earlier. Cross the lines, ready to rock.
It's 9:40, sir.
All right, cross the lines, ready to go, correct?
They're not here in the room, sir. I'm not sure.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's wrap it. Give me the precept I asked for earlier.
Psalm 68 and verse 11. Oh, Salaki, that's the wrong. Psalms 109 and verse 6. Set thou a wicked man over him.
Read that again. Read one verse above it.
Verse 5. And they have rewarded me evil for good.
They have done what?
Rewarded me evil for good.
The Hispanics are the only reason that food is affordable in America. The Hispanics are the only reason that America has been able to survive through economic crisis, through disease, through turmoil with the weather. The Hispanics are the backbone of America, and they get no honor. They get no love. They get no kindness. They get no preferential treatment at all. Black people are the reason that America has won any wars at all. America would have just lost World War II without Black people. America would have lost World War II without the Navajo wind talkers, the Navajo Indians who gave America the code that they used to fool the Germans and fool the Japanese. They got that from the Navajo Indians, the tribe of Gad, the chosen people of God. They have treated us with such cruelty when we have been better than them at every trial, at every extent. We're better than them. Better than them. And not better because, not simply better because we worked harder for equality. We are just blessed and they are not. It's God's preference, Hawk. It's God's preference. Do you think that we would only be better than them in sports? What if the white man gave us opportunity everywhere the way they give it to us in sports? We would conquer them in the boardroom, in the laboratories. We would conquer them everywhere. If they gave us the kind of opportunity that we get on the football field, on the basketball court, we'd conquer them in everything. You think that it's Black to do sports, Hispanic to do sports, but white to be a lawyer, white to be a statistician, or white to be an economist. No, it's not. The only reason you think it's white to use your mind is because white people don't allow Black people to compete with them in things that use your mind. If we would compete, if they would allow us to compete in the boardroom, to compete in the laboratories, we would conquer them the way we do on this field of sports. We conquer them everywhere because Blacks and Hispanics are better than white people. Right. History has proved that true. You crash all the planes, not us.
Right.
You're the one that crashes the planes. Let us fly these planes. They'll stay in the air. There would be no plane crashes if Black people were in the control rooms of these airports. If Blacks and Hispanics were flying these planes, they would not crash. Not at all. But we have a whites-only government. No problem. No problem. You better look up. You better watch where you're looking because there'll be planes dropping out the sky like flies, drop to the ground. Go ahead and read it again.
Sir, verse 5, and they have rewarded me evil for good.
That's what they've done. As good as we've treated you bastards, that's how you'll treat us. The minute a plane crashes, you'll say, well, there must have been somebody Hispanic flying that plane. There must have been a Hispanic on that plane. There must have been too much diversity in that plane. That's how you'll treat us. With all we've done for you. You ungrateful bastard.
Yeah, right.
You Ungrateful bastard. No problem. You fly all the planes and you make all the inventions. You do it now. You got it. It's a whites only government, just like you want. You're deporting the children out of school. You know how many children have come to me out? Children have come to me and saying that their friends don't go to school anymore. That's what they're saying, because their friends are afraid that they're going to get deported from school. So now the child just stays home. The child stays home because they're afraid to go to school. They're scared to go to school because they don't want to be deported. They've lived in America since they were 2 years old. The white man canceled or is attempting to cancel birthright citizenship, which is written in the Constitution to avoid this. Even the white man that wrote the Constitution and wrote the amendments, he knew how greedy his sons would become. And he knew eventually his sons would say, I'm the only American citizen. If you're not white, then you're not a citizen. The white man put it in the Constitution to avoid the greed of his sons. And yet, Donald Trump has now attempting to strike down birthright citizenship, which is in the Constitution since the 1800s. That's how afraid of competition white people are. No problem. You're going to get a white government. The planes are going to drop out the sky every goddamn day. And the trains are going to go off the tracks. And there'll be no food. And you're going to pay $50 for a case of eggs, for a carton of goddamn eggs, because you need to have a whites-only government. A whites-only government is an incompetent government because white people are not competent to run the world. Right. They're too mean. They're too mean. They're too cruel. Right. They're too selfish to run this world. They can't do it. Go ahead and try if you want. You'll be begging La Raza and the tribe of Judah to help you in a few months. You'll be begging us to help you crawl out of this hole the way you begged the Tuskegee Airmen to keep flying those bombers to their goals. You'll beg us in a few months. Keep reading.
Set thou a wicked man over him.
Do what?
Set thou a wicked man over him.
Read again.
Set thou a wicked man over him.
Lord, let Donald Trump be their president.
Right.
Because he is a wicked man. Set a wicked man over him. I told you everything was in the Bible, Ashar.
Count out of one count.
I told you. Because you do not care about the people that helped you. We helped you and you still hate us? You're eating because of our back-breaking labor. You still hate us. You won World War I, World War II. You defeated Russia because of our hard work. And you still hate us? Set a wicked man over them. That's all. Give them a wicked, old, dirty, old man with that terrible hair who looks like a troll from a cave. Put a wicked man over them. Set an evil man. Give them an evil leader. Set a wicked man over them. Go ahead.
And let Satan stand at his right hand.
And let Satan stand right with him. This is a Donald Trump prophecy. The reason you received Donald Trump is because you did not honor or appreciate the hard work of Hispanics and Black people. That's why you have Donald Trump to be your president, because you didn't appreciate them. You should look at Hispanics and go, God damn, we need Hispanics. Thank you, La Raza. Thank you, Los Españoles. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias por tu servicio. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you. But instead, nah. As hard as they work, you hate them for their success. You hate them because they've survived your hatred. You hate them for breathing. You hate them for living through what you thought would kill them. You hate them for that. No problem. Set a wicked man over them and let Satan sit at his right hand. Satan is sitting at the right hand of Donald Trump. And when you get COVID-20, remember what you chose. Remember that. I think give me any white woman on the internet crying because Donald Trump cut off her food stamps. Have you seen this, Aishar?
I did not see those, sir.
Oh, Lord, Aishar. This is the last video. Give me a white woman crying because Donald Trump recently, they made a rule where they were cutting off food stamps and cutting off benefits to white people. And white people who voted for Donald Trump made videos saying, please don't do this. I thought you were only going to hurt Mexicans. I hate those spits. I hate those wetbacks, but you're cutting off my food stamps. It's all over the internet, all over the place. Donald Trump is going to hurt the people that loved him. He's going to hurt white people. He's going to hurt you because you're the ones that deserve it. Because you voted for him because he promised you he would hurt Mexicans. He promised you he would hurt Hispanics. And you voted for him to hurt another people. He's going to hurt you, white people. He's going to cut off your welfare. He's going to get rid of your health care. He's going to destroy you, and you're the ones that deserve it. Then you're going to beg him to add some diversity to the government. You're going to beg for that diversity then. You understand? All right. Anything else?
Con,
If you can find it. No, if not, I'll do it another day.
Con, sir, I think I found it.
Go ahead.
Stop. Stop. Damn.
Well,
see, that's why I'm recording. Because the cuts ain't going.
Acting like a straight up child, bruv. And it's always this haircut too, right?
What is this, Aishar?
The title is Woke Women Crying Because Donald Trump Won.
No, this is the different thing. This is white people who got their welfare cut off, who voted for Donald Trump. That's a different thing. That's funny, but that's a different thing. You'll find them on your own time. All right, I gotta let Cross the Line come in here. Any last questions I can answer, or is that it?
Salakia, sir.
Go ahead.
Salakia, I wanted to know if Obadiah was a good scripture for everything that's going on, specifically Obadiah 1 and what is it called? I think it's 6. Let me get it exactly. This is Obadiah. Salakia, this is verse 8, 1 and 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom and understanding out of the mount of Esau?
Excellent precept. That's a perfect precept for this. That's happening right now because they're not smart anymore. You know, they were perceived as being so intelligent because they knew how to oppress people and yet make people think they were not being oppressed. You understand? That was wisdom that they can't do anymore because now they need blacks and Hispanics to also lose their self-respect. And you can't do that without absolutely demanding that they hate themselves. And that's what they're demanded to do. You understand?
So we can use this to say, like, white people of the past, like the founding fathers, who basically said eventually slavery is going to end. I believe they said the last slave ships were in 1805 or something. And then so on and so forth. That just, how do I say it? But laid the groundwork to have a more mental slavery instead of a physical one.
That's why they wrote in the 14th Amendment.
That
was to make slaves citizens. That was the point. Because they didn't want slaves to leave. Because they had enough sense to know if slaves leave, then what was going to happen?
Who's going to pick the oranges?
Done. You see, it's just that simple. They wanted slaves to stay because if you say at the end of slavery, you're not citizens, then Canada would have become America.
Right.
You understand?
Canada,
Canada, right now, if every slave said, well, slavery is over, I don't have a citizenship, then Canada right now would be the #1 superpower on the planet. Or Cuba would be the #1 superpower on the planet Earth.
I believe he threw around the idea of Monrovia, Abraham Lincoln.
Exactly. Meaning, but they said, no. I want slaves to stay right here. Because they will become the backbone of our country because they do everything well. We need them. We want them. So they gave every slave citizenship because if not, then slaves would be in Canada, and Canada right now would have nuclear power and would have buildings and skyscrapers, and Times Square would be in Canada right now if that would have happened. Do you understand?
And one last thing I just wanted to mention. If there was a specific boat like about 80 years ago that would have at least allowed black people to serve the white people, maybe they would have known about the iceberg and Leonardo DiCaprio wouldn't be dead.
Brother, I'm so glad you said that. Please give him a hand. You see that? Was there a black person or an Hispanic piloting the USS Titanic?
We weren't even allowed to serve.
No, we weren't even allowed to be captains or to pilot those ships. You see, white people, you sunk the Titanic. You did that. You're Amelia Earhart. You sunk the Hindenburg. You did that. You're the one that crashed the Challenger spacecraft. You did that. You're at the fault of every air disaster in history. Not us. Not us. If we were in charge, this world would be called one thing and one thing only: the kingdom of heaven. With that, carnales, esta es la verdad. Si tú eres hombre, hispano, negro o indio, tú eres Israel, el pueblo elegido de Dios. Tu madre y tu padre dicen que somos un culto y mantienen sin culpa, pero su iglesia es culpable de todo lo que nos están pasando. Orale. With that, pass the class over.
Sir.
I'm sorry.
Sluggy, sir. We can go out on this note.
The water.
Salak.
Take your time.
I said, fucking tell me they're lying. I need somebody to fucking tell me they're lying right fucking now, because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the?
You gotta make it. I can't hear it or see it.
Oh, Salaki, so you couldn't hear it?
I could not.
I need somebody to fucking.
That's as loud as it's allowing me to get it.
Now, because what the fuck do you mean that I'm not gonna get my fucking SNAP benefits? What the?
Yeah, that's a white woman who just found out that her god Donald Trump is cutting off her food stamps when she just really believed he would only hurt the Mexicans. White people, get ready. You have a whites-only government right now. You'll come to regret that shortly. With that, let me thank Chicago. Give Chicago a hand, Doc. Let me give Milwaukee a hand. Let me give the bad man of Trinidad a hand. Who else? Dallas, Texas. Let me give Dallas, Texas a hand. Way up north. Let me give Mexico, ISUPK Mexico a hand. Gracias. Let me give who else do we have?
Got Florida, sir.
Martinique, ISUPK France. Right there, give him a hand. Am I missing someone? ISUPK Milwaukee. Who's up top? Who's up top right there?
That's Florida, sir.
Florida. Let me give Florida a hand. The water, gracias por tu servicio. We'll see you next week, Akim, all right? Be strong, Akim. Be champions for the word of God. Shalom.
Clap it up for the class.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Majum, which means to stand. Men of Israel, Man Shabbath. Amajum, Barak. Yahweh Hashem,
Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, Barakatam, Tubarakim.
Saw and turn to the sisters. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Man Shabbath. Amajum, Barak. Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua. Yasmata, class dismissed.